You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D. But when it comes to her, you better keep it sealed. Don't you dare say a single word, or I will strike you where it feels. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D. You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D. But when it comes to her, you better keep it sealed. Don't you dare say. You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get. You can call me stupid.
Oh my goodness, at the new videos.
What's up?
It's crazy. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your boys just invading your screens like Russia.
Too soon.
Man, that's still going on. Anyway, we appreciate everybody for hopping on, and as you can see, it's Chase. We got Alan, the creators here, Alan and Jay up in the house. Romeo on assignment.
Got the big dog.
And we also have a special guest with us today.
Hey, Tag. Hey, turn
Tag.
That. Hey, turn the.
We'll get to
take
you
off.
in a minute.
Take off. Take off. Take off camera effects and put on comments.
Anyway, we got.
Yeah, turn off camera effects and put it on the chat. Up there. Yeah, X out of that one.
Yeah, we're getting.
You know what to do.
We're gonna get some comments going.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, you can comment away. Let us know what's happening. What do you think of what's going on in the world right now? That's what I want to know.
Man.
But we can't see that. We can't see that.
Hey, scroll. Make the video. Fix the screen on there, dude.
Who hired this mug?
Man.
He about that.
There you go.
Yeah,
there we
just
go.
resize it. Hey, y'all share this, man. We got the
share away.
Current local celebrity and future.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hall of Famer.
That's right. I am here, but we also have
and Jeffrey Orr he'll be here in a minute. But in the meantime,
that'd be nice though if he was.
Now tell the people who you are, sir.
Oh, thank you.
And the winner is.
Did he give you your deal? Did Anna hand you the?
Just handed him a.
Give that to Matt real quick.
Did you just hand him a pink slip? I mean, what is going on?
No, he'll get that in the letter. And remember, that's how they send them in the mail.
Oh, gosh.
Jeffrey taught us that. Tag, come back. He's got something for
it's
you.
like
bro.
he just walked up here and said, "You're served."
Get up here.
You got child support court.
What's up, Tennessee Five? I told you he was going to be in the new video.
This is for you.
All right,
Hey, Philly's hat.
Don't thank me.
And look on the side. Autograph.
Here, turn it around.
And don't take that sticker. Don't take that sticker off, man.
See,
loses value.
Tag out here getting autograph hats because.
Boom.
Sir.
Look at you. Look at you.
He has. Hey, before we get started, I just want to show you a little bit about what he's been doing with Matt. Matt hadn't seen.
We hadn't even introduced him yet.
Yeah, let's talk about Matt. Well, let's introduce him.
I don't even know who he is.
Jordan walked in and was like,
"This dude from Magnolia."
I mean, are you the one that's replacing the floor? Or
he hits balls with sticks.
Yeah,
but they're not on the ground.
Okay.
Call me for
Okay.
I'm gonna knock off ball and thought I'd
This
go
is
for a
Matt
hole.
Goodheart from Magnolia. A lot of y'all folks remember from high school, and then he started tearing it up at U of A. Watched a lot of highlights of him today. So he's if you're a Hogs fan, you got to see him in the World Series. He's the one that dropped that foul ball. I couldn't think of that dude's name the other day.
Was it Shad? We ain't blaming.
Shad.
We're not blaming
No,
anybody.
no. We use it as a verb.
But it was total shaddy.
Yeah, we shaddied that. No.
I have my own opinions on that.
We want to get to that.
Let's do it.
So U of A and then got picked up by the Philadelphia Phillies. Would have been this year was it was the COVID draft, so they cut off 2 rounds.
More than two.
More than 2.
So,
hold on, Kathy. That was going to be my first question to this superstar. When was the last time you had crap in the woods?
Yeah, well,
I was a kid.
What kid? Wow. Shoot.
You're a kid now.
Ask me. Talking to the mic, ask me.
Okay. I'll play again.
When
was the last time you had to crap?
Sunday morning. Sunday morning, Kathy.
What time is
That's
this?
what's up.
Kathy, it was all you this time.
About 10:15 a.m. Got me.
Hey,
got me.
Y'all share if you're a Hogs
Plain
fan,
dealing,
share
baby.
this. Let them know that Matt's in the house. We're gonna be talking with Matt for a while tonight. So share this.
That's my
share. And if you're a Phillies fan, I don't know why you would be in Arkansas, but we got people all over the country. We got them all over the world, baby.
Yeah, we got
especially Russia. It was the Ukraine. For some reason I couldn't get through today, but
my gosh.
But yeah,
I'm about to just smack this.
See, anyway, yeah. If you're a fan of baseball, hey, give the thing a share. Everybody wants to know what's up with Matt.
Teresa in the house. Hey, Teresa, tell
she's an LSU fan.
Tell your brother congratulations on a personal note. Tell him welcome to the family.
I'm right with you.
Yep.
You get saved?
Dude, that boy's been saved. He's a sheriff's deputy now.
Oh, that family.
Nice.
No wonder you didn't want to mention it. You want to
got
keep
this
it on
stigma.
YouTube, I know.
Anyway.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right.
So anyway,
you said that
yeah, he's with the field. So he got picked up. So they cut how many rounds did they cut off that draft?
So the first.
Right. These microphones. You guys speak
just stay
right.
right. We'll do that. Just stay
But you'll sound beautiful when you talk.
Is this your first interview? I'm kidding. Just kidding.
I asked my pa, he said, I love doing podcasts. I'm like, okay, he knows what he's doing.
First interview? No, this is I've had depositions.
I'm a talker, anyways. It's not just with podcasts. It doesn't matter if it's tag. It doesn't matter if it's a podcast. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm a talker, and that's definitely genetic.
Yeah.
You know my dad pretty well. He's also a talker.
I didn't think he was. He scared me to freaking death. So Coach Goodheart was freaking intimidating. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. He's a teddy bear.
He is.
But he's like me, just focused. He just looks mean, like I do. I just walk around. People don't like me. They think I'm a butthole. Then they meet me and they say,
Then they know you're a
Then they
butthole.
just absolutely.
yeah, someone give me a chance. You give me a chance.
I gave you a chance.
Because I liked Alice Jones.
Not gonna lie, that's when I started sitting in front of you in church.
I know that. And I showed you like Jeffrey calls it. That time, them man that were watching, they're watching some movie, and I said, that all-seeing eye's always in there. He said, well, I was right. There it is, man. There's a one-eyed wonder. She did not correct it.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Funny. Anyway, what we done? So, but Steve is a friend of mine. He become a client. But we never get anything done because we talk about baseball for hours.
So I think you like baseball?
Yeah.
It's okay.
He didn't like it when he was a kid. With the glue on that, when he had to glue his hands to the bat, he did not like that. I remember Steve talking about that.
Gotcha.
But he just told him to stop crying, and that was it. But that was on the sandbag.
That's what real
part,
dads
getting it
do.
off. Yeah.
So right now you're in off season. You've been selected somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get in the round because they cut.
Right.
We keep cutting that story. How many?
Right, so-
how many rounds did they cut off?
So the first COVID year was not the year that I signed. The first COVID year was in 2020. That was my first
Junior year myself.
Yeah, same. Except for real.
But it's normally a 40-round draft, and the COVID year it was 5 rounds. And then the following year, which would have been my second junior year, I don't know if your junior year was as fun as my second junior year, but
probably not.
But it
Do you
was
won
only
baseball
20.
for the Hogs, going to the World Series and stuff like that? You're probably pretty popular.
But this one was only
We took
20.
dance.
This one was only 20.
Oh, y'all are talking college.
It was only 20.
Okay.
This one was only 20.
I was talking high school, baby.
Dude,
We're
he
talking
played for the-
Razorbacks, man.
Okay.
He played for the legit Hogs, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he has no idea. Yeah, I told you they like
George's
sports.
not the biggest
If it's
fan of
now,
sports.
If it's UFC,
No,
he's your man.
Well, I mean, baseball is my favorite, major sport. Basketball, I could care less about. Soccer, even is that?
Yeah.
But
American
baseball
football.
for sure.
But, and I told him a little backdrop on Chase that he can pick up any. I've never seen him pick up a bat, but I wouldn't want to bet him.
He can dingers all day.
Yeah.
I hit dingers. It's nothing big.
Cute.
Some people just have it.
Some
Some people just have it.
God. Besides,
I told him about I told you bowling the other day, right? I said we just went bowling one night, me and him and Amy and Haley, and just pick up a bowling ball and just strike after strike. No big deal.
Yeah.
Just killing it.
Is this what you're supposed to do?
What's your score?
Yeah, the second game I finally opened my eyes.
He's one of those dudes. Just
Yeah,
love to hate
just has it.
because when dunk con he can can you do a 360? Dunk?
In what?
With a bowling ball.
But
Yeah, with a bowling ball. Yeah,
you can
I've
dunk
spun
I know you
around
can
plenty
dunk.
times.
I've seen you dunk a basketball. I mean a bowling ball. I'm talking about with the basketball. Can you do a 360?
Yeah, I got video of me doing one from high school, but
Yeah.
if you're talking about now, I don't think my knees would allow it.
He just
They didn't even let me get up the stairs hardly. Matt had to help me. He's like, "Who's this old dude coming upstairs?"
So, Matt, all right, so we got 2 COVID years, which seemed like 2 COVID decades.
Right.
And it just won't end.
It's in now. Something else.
For real.
Like we didn't call all that one happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? How much COVID business have y'all heard on TV?
No. Just
Past day, none.
So, so tell us what was the process you had to go through after when you knew they cut it short. What were you projected? What was you projected the first COVID draft, and what was you projected in the second?
Man, I don't remember what I was projected in the first COVID draft. Man, I can't remember what I was projected in that one, but I know I was projected top 200 in the year after that, and just one thing led to another, and the draft got pushed back. It's normally in early June, but this one got pushed back into July. So I decided that after the season that I would go to the Cape Cod Collegiate League and play there up until.
Is that the
draft.
one that was in that movie Summer Catch with the Matthew Lillard and all them? I swear that was what that was
I
based on.
actually think that may be it.
Boom.
I think you're right.
You're not a Freddie Prinze Jr. fan? Dude, what's wrong with you?
I like Will Smith.
All right, we'll take it.
Like Fresh Prince.
All right, so you went up to Cape Cod, beautiful East Coast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was up in Cape Cod. It was great. I had a great host family there as well.
Did you could you afford to eat up there?
Dude, lobster ain't
Like
expensive
lobster?
there. No.
Straight lobster, baby.
It's like an exchange student. I mean, you get.
Somebody else up there.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
So what was the host family like, especially for a boy from Arkansas
Yeah.
when you got up there night?
Interesting question, because So what was your family like?
They're kind of the New Yorker style family. They they also have a home in Arizona somewhere. I don't know a ton about their story with the house in Arizona, but when it comes summertime, they always host a family, or they always host guys for the summer league. The team is the Orleans Firebirds. They've had some pretty popular players in the past. I actually stayed in. You guys may not know who he is. His name's JJ Blodé. He was picked 5th overall in the COVID year. He's Derek Jeter met him himself, and I got to stay in the same bed that he stayed in the year after. It was pretty cool.
What does sheep smell like?
Yeah, that's what
Success.
Stupid.
bourbon and regret. The old tie to fly.
I always want minor league teams have such whack names. I mean, of course, we went to a college that had the Mule Riders, but aside from that, I mean,
At least we didn't.
They come
at least
up
we
with
weren't
some-
boll weevils.
they do. Yeah, or the Wonder Boys.
That's not bad. I'll talk about Wonder Boy.
There's some weird ones out there.
There are some
Especially
strange-
like the Pro Bowl. There's some weird ones.
Yeah.
Amarillo sod poodles.
Okay, yep.
Are you
That one
serious?
might
Yeah,
win.
is that for real?
I didn't think that was for real.
Sod poodles. Is that they intentionally? They want you to wear them on your jersey just to build character.
Bro,
That's like I want one of their shirts.
please welcome onto the field the Sod Poodles.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Before Tag's got to go to, he's going to be going to bed. Well, he's got to finish a science project in a minute. But I wanted to play this video real quick, and what's going to do is going to change scenes. You'll get audio back. I mean, you will. It's going to suddenly. It's going to look like we're
You
starting
saw Tennessee 5?
It's going to suddenly look like we're starting the intro all over again. But that's just the way this software works. Hold up. What do you say?
Tennessee 5's killing it over
What do
here.
you say?
Oh man,
Hey, real quick.
Jacksonville
these are
still
just
don't
big
shrink.
company sponsors now.
See, Baby Cakes
Hey, look,
is I've heard of that
they're
one.
commenting different minor league.
Yeah, I've never heard of the.
You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get to me. You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak.
All right, so Alan is playing a video. Explain us what's going
You
on.
think that using her would get to me.
Matt's been working with Tag a little bit.
You're in trouble, dear.
on some basic stuff. And I made them a little video of the workout Monday. You may recognize the music. I like the song.
Is that real?
In my editing studio.
There's no.
I want to play for that team.
Not bad ball.
I think.
Oh, this is where he smoke.
Can't.
Rung him out right there.
Hey, you reading the comments here?
What?
They can't hear anything.
Oh,
You can call me stupid. Listen, you can call me sheep.
This is also a question for everybody viewing.
right, so-
You saw me there with my facial hair. I need opinions on whether or not I should keep it or continue the baby face.
No, beards are like makeup for men,
that's right.
and
You're so salty because you can't grow
I
one.
just can't grow it. Okay.
It comes in all spotty and white trash.
Consider yourself
Mine's
blessed, man.
because it's very passionate.
Man,
right
dip, bro,
Oh, man.
grow that out. If I could grow a beard, I would grow it. Like, no, I can, but like for work. I mean,
Oh yeah. I got you.
I get it. Drove me insane. One of my roommates at Arkansas was Trevor Ezel.
Yeah.
For those of you who remember him,
I remember you said.
okay,
his
nobody can hear anything. Alan,
We've already addressed that.
It says I
It's
can
good.
hear.
We're good.
oh, can hear. Got it.
But
Okay.
anyway, Trevor Ezel, maybe I can pull up a picture at some point. He has an immaculate beard. It is
Really?
just perfect.
Like Civil War type beard.
Is it like
He-
halfway
he-
down
he-
his
he gets it
chest?
down there.
Oh, bro.
He's now
That's
the
Seth
hitting
Miller
coach
special.
at Southeast Missouri State.
I'm so
Really?
jealous.
Not any
Man.
gray in that mug either. Too, I bet.
Oh, and
Central Arkansas.
Y'all knew that.
Made well for herself.
I did know
Proud
that.
of
Yeah,
him. Yep.
yeah.
Previous
Good on
guest.
him.
That's the one podcast you'd listen to. Small Town Famous. You got anything else you need to say before you go downstairs?
You know what? You should ask Chase about his past with acting.
Past with
Past
acting. I actually told. We were talking. Me and Matt were talking about that before Chase got here. All right, man. But anyway,
I do have a past in
good night, buddy.
acting like a fool.
So,
But
yeah.
buddy.
So anyway, he was so that video. I don't know if y'all could even hear it, which was okay because the same background music as my
Right.
new intro. But yeah, he lit a fire kind of in the. I've always wanted to play baseball. You know, he was a little small and just he kind of got pigeonholed into that. But Steve always said he'd worked with him anytime, and then Matt happened to be in, and shoot, he drove down one night, and then they couldn't wait to do it again. So he taught him a lot, kind of lit that baseball fire in him.
yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward
It's
to it.
always good to be passionate about something. And guys and a lot of girls, sports is always a great outlet.
Yeah,
Right.
Great outlet. And JD Nations, who has an immaculate beard.
He
by
does
the
have a
way.
great beard.
Yes, he
Beards
does.
are the way to go. It sounds
say.
like it's universal.
Yeah.
I wore my Hell or High Water hat to church last night.
Now, if you grow a beard, I'm going to support you. You know,
Yeah,
consider yourself lucky.
But got it.
Anyway, so when
but you can make kids though.
yeah, that's what's up. No, anyway, we back when Jeffrey Orr was on the show, he told us, some horror stories and some fun stories about just life in the minor leagues. So you're between seasons right now. How was the first year? And I mean, what's been kind of the awakening of like, man, it's a little odd, this life here.
Yeah. I mean, it's odd for sure. I tell people, they ask where I live and all that kind of thing. And it seems like they're usually surprised that I'm living in a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
The entire time I was there, I lived in a La Quinta Inn. And
Not even a red roof?
Hey, man,
Bro.
I will say, this past weekend, I tried to, go to Mardi Gras and the parades and all that, and everything was booked up because I was going to overnight. And then fast forward to me in the woods pooping, but back up and everything was booked up. And if you wanted to find a room, it was like $400. But no, there was a room at the Super 7. Just a little word of advice. Never stay at the Super 7. Ever. Don't even
The
pull
Super
in
7?
The Super 7
Super
on there.
7.
No. Don't do it.
I've heard of
Didn't-
Super 8.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
And the Motel 7.
If you've never heard of it,
Man.
don't even worry about
I bet that dude.
Bro.
I bet that dude Patel on
So
that.
Lakina, I would try. Well, I put a beg for a Lakina night boy. But so you're at the Lakina for the most part.
Yep.
On this minor league salary, and I got to back up too because I got to know more about the Cape Cod host family.
Yeah.
I just got to
more
know
about
what
that.
that experience is like. Because I mean, I've heard of people going to do that, or like going off for a year out of school. They may go to Europe or whatever and do that, like exchange student program.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is for baseball,
Right.
so it's like, what is that? What
So
is
it
that?
was my second year to actually go to Cape Cod. I went to Cape Cod after my sophomore year, which was my first year at Arkansas as well. After my sophomore year, I was supposed to go to California, and it's a good league, but our coaches wanted me to go to Cape Cod, which is supposed to be the best of the best. It's just good competition.
Okay.
So, in fact, 81% of everyone that goes to Cape Cod gets drafted.
Yeah, boy.
So, and I'm one of the unfortunate ones that in the 19% that didn't get drafted. Which I mean,
Well,
That's how
if
it
you had
goes,
enough
man.
rounds, you would have been drafted for sure.
it'd been nice, but at the same time, I'm fortunate to get a chance anyways. You know?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right. And got good stats, looking good.
Yeah.
So for the ones that don't know, you missed which year of the draft did you unfortunately not get picked up in?
It would have been 2020.
So 2020. Fast forward to 2021. Then what happens?
So we found out that the year wasn't going to count against our eligibility. So I was going to be a junior again. And there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into the whole ordeal with the draft where, you have an agent and there's leverage and it's all about, there's a whole lot that goes into it. It's kind of,
And
it's kind
you
of
can have an
political,
agent and still be on the college
So-
realm in baseball, or is that?
Yes, but they're called an advisor.
Okay.
They're just called something
I got
different. You can't technically call them an agent until you make money.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
right. It's just
Right.
it's
Kathy will,
semantics at this
Right.
point.
Kathy
But-
will get to that question because that's a very good question. Everybody wants to know what his prediction is for the
Right.
Hogs this year.
I knew that was coming too. But anyway,
I'm going to write that down. I'll keep up the question.
cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Cape Cod. I drove to Cape Cod. It was a 24-hour drive. I stopped on my first trip. I stopped in where did I stop in Columbus, and got there. Met my host family there.
'Cause I didn't know what
You
was
thought
about
you was
come
going
out
to
of your
say
mouth.
husband.
You
And
did
we
too,
would have
because you looked
never,
right at
we
me.
wouldn't
Wouldn't
have
thought a
judged
thing
him
about
at
it.
all.
Would not have thought a thing about it.
But then
For the rest of the state, I have no idea that we would. Anyway, go ahead.
I didn't know what to expect when I showed up. I got to the field and it was your kind of run of the mill high school field, and you'd be surprised at supposedly the most prestigious summer college baseball league, that it was fairly, it was pretty typical fields. They're just basically high school fields.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they took me to my host family's house. I showed up during the middle of one of the games, and obviously I wasn't going to play since I just driven 12 hours, got there during a night game, and showed up, dressed, met the coaches. They took me to my host family's house, and we pull up to this house, and it looks pretty nice, but I can't tell much from the inside or from the front. It's just kind of, there's trees and bushes and stuff. So they take me in, give me a tour, and I look out. I pull up the blinds of the glass double doors in my room, and it looks over the pool and the backyard. They have a garden, and it looks over the beach.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh,
Jordan,
okay.
Jordan, what would
This will be okay.
What would
I can live here.
What would your Jordan? What would your house tour be if somebody came to your house and was like, "You're the host family"? What would you? How would your tour go?
They would pull in the driveway and they would say, okay. Run of the mill.
CBN Cribs, brother.
Run of the mill. I like,
very modest.
Lots of
Yeah,
guns. Lots of
and-
guns.
So they probably would say that. And I would bring them in, and they would, we have an open floor plan, and
Nice,
you
nice.
step out of the double door back and you look over a yard, and there might be deer out there. And
Antelope?
I give you the
occasional antelope?
Cantaloupe.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
And
The American antelope.
I take you down the hallway, and the tour is over, and we don't have room for you. So go find someone.
Mine,
else.
you walk into one room, it's like, there's your spittoon if you need it. Bathroom. We got some French fries you can warm up in the dryer over there.
The dryer.
Oh,
What
nice.
about your blind uncle that's always in the corner?
It's
Every
Uncle
time you
P-
walk into it.
That's Uncle Pete over there. Say hi, Uncle Pete. Hey, dude, over there, man. You just don't get near his good eye. He'll get you. And have you seen my youngest kid? No, I ain't seen. No, well, we might want to get out of here. That kid freaks me out. That's probably more than my tool. But it sounds like you had a better experience.
Yeah.
What beach is it? Like, is
Cape Cod.
it's like
It's Cape Cod, bro.
is that?
They got like that's where they.
I mean,
it's a Cape where they catch
that's like-
cod.
that's like
where we
one of them-
It's the world's largest exporter of cod.
Yeah, they've
bro.
only barely had shark attacks.
So, is that near Martha's Vineyard? No, I don't know. Martha's Vineyard is in Massachusetts.
Nah,
isn't it?
you way off.
No, Cape Cod's in
Cape
Massachusetts,
Cod's in
fool.
Massachusetts.
That's what I said.
No, you.
Oh, I said this in Massachusetts.
So how
What
long were
state,
you?
Cape Cod?
How long
No,
were
I'm
you
just
there?
It's on the Nantucket Sound. See, that's what I was looking for.
That's what you had to Google it. You had to Google.
I did because
Why
you
would
couldn't tell
Google
me.
it? Why don't you Google the hogs and know what that is?
I didn't get.
Hey,
I
you
know what a
ladies
hog
fight-
is.
You see them in your backyard. Google.
Yeah.
All right, let's let the man answer. Y'all over here spatting. I keep
this
thinking
is the
y'all
way
going to
we-
be
That's
getting.
the way we do our podcast. I tried to warn him.
Yeah, how
Did you
long
go
were
to-
in
I'm
this
sorry.
is
Not
Cape
structured.
Cod? Yeah, how long were you there?
So the
this is the
first
second.
time-
Oh, okay, 2 times. Yeah.
I was there 2 times. The first year, I was only there for about 11 days. And the reason for that was I had the shoulder injury during my sophomore year.
Oh, yeah.
Little flashback into the spring of sophomore year against
Throwing
Tennessee.
arm?
Throwing arm. I dive into first base, dislocate my shoulder, torn labrum, and had what's called a Hill-Sachs lesion, which is where the humeral head had chipped when it came out of socket.
Yeah.
And they had to, fast forward, I couldn't get through the rehab without surgery. So
Oh man.
pretty much told
Anytime the word
told the trainer,
surgery.
like, hey, we gotta, like, I can't
gotta
throw it
bite the
all.
bullet, yeah.
And he's like, all right, doc said let's do it. So and they're like, okay, we're shipping you home right now. Oh, right
Wow.
now? Like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm coach. I gotta go have surgery. Yeah.
But it makes you feel good. I mean, you had a little bit of golly, what's the coach's name? I want to say Bobby Cox.
Patrina.
No.
Bob Knight.
Oh my gosh, basketball. Dude, they're from Emerson. Well, I can't think. It's just I'm drawing a blank. Your coach's name?
Van Horn?
Yeah. So, but
I wasn't even close.
but Coach Van Horn gave you a little bit of comfort. I mean, he just said it's still gonna be okay, right?
Oh,
And,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
And that was my sophomore year. We knew that I wasn't eligible for the draft or anything like that. We knew that we wanted me to be healthy. And I had some time in the outfield before the injury, but after the injury, like, I wasn't throwing.
See,
So
It wasn't
I had
happening.
a very
Deviation, though.
very similar injury, but I accidentally slid into first, tore my ankle up. I mean, I did. That's a true story, actually.
Really?
And I got up and quit t-ball immediately.
I was about to say, you slid into first
I
base,
did.
feet first?
Yes, I did. I didn't say I was the brightest. I was passionate.
Well, he was dribbling when he's doing.
I was
We would have made it.
I played a little bit of baseball as a little kid, but after that, I hurt my foot. I was like, man, I ain't playing this stuff anymore. Because
Chase was the inspiration for the movie Basketball,
but I also
just like his movie career.
I had a knack for hitting dingers out at the Boys and Girls Club
And having babies.
and running running to first with my bat.
Hey, you don't know what the dude gonna do.
I mean, truth. There's truth to
You
that.
ever wanted to run the first with your bat?
Yeah,
Yes.
No, did you ever see that movie Grease when Danny's like, you know, that's me.
Hey, back up from Cape Cod and hogs and all that. So let's start back in high school because I watched you. I mean, you played against Taylor. See, how old are you?
23.
So you about Chase Whitehead? But is that the year we won state? Wasn't it Chase Whitehead? Oh, no. Yeah, because Chloe and them would come and watch. Chloe and Lexi and all them would come and watch, and because your little sister was a friggin' pistol, and she still is apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you graduate. What year did you graduate?
Probably 2013, 17.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I just remember talking to because
Tomatoes.
Steve is. I guess Steve's been. Your dad and mom's been a client almost 20 years or so, something. So
What do you do?
I
for a
just
living?
remember when, just this journey. He didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to happen with you, and just listening to him talk about it from a parent's perspective, it's more agonizing. You're having fun. I mean, you get hurt and stuff. But
So-
we have a meeting, you know what I mean. So it's just what
For real, though, Teresa.
when did you feel like you had that drive? Like when did you make up your mind? Like, okay, I'm going for it, and I don't know.
I'm gonna
'cause you had to
sacrifice
You had to find that internal drive because it's hard to stand out,
Right.
So what'd you do? Oh, and do you remember when?
Even when I was younger, I loved being good at baseball and being good at other things in general. So in turn, obviously, I wanted to work hard at things to be good at them. Basically, I mean, kind of obvious. But I would say that the standout moment was definitely whenever I ended up transferring from Columbia Christian to Magnolia. That was pretty much when I said, that's whenever I stopped playing basketball, soccer, and all that, and however many sports.
Made a
there
real
were.
commitment.
Exactly. I transferred and said, okay, I'm putting all my eggs in this basket, and it's what I'm going for. And
Did you play
that was
something
my sophomore year
with?
The American Legion, Texarkana Razorbacks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, and which are pretty.
Teresa,
and
man,
y'all got-
just don't even mention it. Dude.
Is she upset about the
age?
LSU?
No, the
Oh,
age.
oh, the age. Oh,
He's a
No,
younger
Go
guy.
ahead. Yeah,
And
go ahead with your story.
And
So-
it's about to play professional.
Oh yeah.
no.
Well,
I was looking at that dude that was on that's in a member of parliament from the Ukraine. I'm like, he looks like he's 18 years old, and I'm like, did y'all see him talk?
no.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm looking, and Leslie just looked at me like, "You're 51." I mean, like, thanks for that.
So
Splash
on
Anyway.
a personal level, I do want to just find out this real quick question of what was more exhilarating, playing in a World Series, College World Series, or finding out Magnolia was getting a Whataburger?
Oh, that's kind of double edged because
That's right.
It's not because Whataburger's trash. Anyway,
Oh,
Do not say that because it is right adjoining my land. Daddy's kind of happy.
I didn't say
They wanted to buy that place right next
but-
to man.
No,
I'm glad
no.
But where's that's perfect.
perfect.
Man.
I can walk to.
Gonna get a new
your office already
gonna get a
smells
new
like
drive.
old grease for some reason. I don't know.
Saw them French fries. Saw them French fries are keeping my desk.
It reeks of Dapper Dan in here.
On my tots.
I'm a fat man.
So I got to know what it's like when you Columbia Christian to Magnolia, and then boom, you're in the College World Series.
Right, like
What?
Well,
Pretty
us,
good.
it was that
what
fast.
is that like?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really have the words for it. There's obviously some stepping stones in between there. I took some baby steps.
For the sake of the fans, that's all it was. He went straight to the top. There was no work ethic.
so. When did you know? So like,
I know where you're gonna go.
when did you know that? Like, I have it. Whatever it is, I'm above. I'm above everybody
And we've
that I
asked.
play with. For real.
No. Well, we've asked. It's a tough question to ask
It
because
is.
you don't want to talk about. You
Because-
want to be humble,
but
but
I
we've
wanna-
asked Hayden. We've asked Jeffrey.
Yeah.
There's always that moment where you're like, "Holy crap!
Oh,
I
I've-
actually have
I've got the
that
thing.
Man, it's hard to say because it kind of depends on what level you're asking that I acknowledge myself at.
Yeah.
So I would say whenever I was at Columbia Christian, I knew that I was good for my age, especially playing with the older guys. And I had a chance to be, if I transferred, I had a chance to be good at a bigger school as well. And then after my sophomore and junior years, I did pretty well. We ended up winning state championship my junior year. I was like, okay, hey, I have a chance of doing something with this. But then it was my senior year. My senior year, I hit 590 with like 8 home runs. And
Is that good?
Bro.
Oh, you know percentages.
That's
I
pretty.
forgot.
Yeah, that's
5'9".
set up,
You're hitting the ball
set
half
a few
the time.
records.
So
and stuff, and then-
59%. I tell her, isn't that below 60? That's an F, isn't it? Man, if they scored my test like baseball, God.
for real.
No. But anyway, yeah,
But-
590.
Yeah,
Man.
and there's some like ranking systems like at the time it was PBR. That everyone knows PBR as professional bull
Pat's
riding,
Blue
but
Ribbon.
for us.
Oh yeah, I
There's
mean,
lots of
yeah.
PBR. Yeah.
Funny aside, I'm going to the PBR in Little Rock tomorrow.
Yeah, on purpose.
Wow.
Yeah, I pay good money for that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you've been watching. What's that show?
Did you pay more money for the PBR tickets or for the Morgan Wallen tickets?
I went to that one.
Really?
You went to Morgan Wallen. You paid an arm and a leg for that.
So you paid your whole signing bonus for 2 tickets.
I bought the Morgan Wallen tickets as a Christmas present, and then
And we refinanced his house in January.
I started renting my house out.
Yeah, I started having to give hitting.
Airbnb on them boys.
But you came out okay now if you look at it because you used December dollars.
For
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
But oh shoot, why don't we get on Morgan? What were we talking about?
Yeah, because he's talking about PBR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so,
yeah.
So
The ranking system.
the national individual ranking,
Right.
right? So
The state PBR state had me ranked as after the year it went from, I'm not sure where I was at the beginning, but it went from me being in the pack somewhere to being the best left-handed hitter in the draft system or in the 2017 class.
really,
And
in the nation.
It just in Arkansas.
Okay,
just
okay.
in
So
Arkansas.
to get to the next, but you got to
right. I don't know.
Got to get to the next
PBR
step.
wasn't a nationwide thing.
Gotcha.
It was just Arkansas at the time.
Okay.
But I didn't do any of the showcase stuff that you hear a lot.
Right.
Out of up until close to that time. I didn't have much interest from schools out of high school, anyways, despite my numbers.
Fellas, teenagers, if you listen up to this,
Right. I
Right.
didn't have much love. I went and did a bunch of camps, and I even went to Arkansas's camp. Coach Van Horn was like, "Hey, we don't have any money for you. You can walk on, but I'm just letting you know now. There's a lot of guys there right now, and I know that there's a
say hi to your dad for me.
right. There's a popular story.
I'm just kidding.
A lot of people were like, "Oh yeah." Apparently, the rumor started that Coach Van Horn told me that just go to a junior college for a year and then we'll get you. And that's kind of the narrative that a lot of people have heard for some reason, but it really wasn't like that at all.
No, was
Everybody boils it down to the least common denominator.
were you
Right.
pretty much open to going anywhere, or did you have your eyes kind of set on like I would love to be part of the Razorback program? If you had it narrowed down to Arkansas and Grambling, and then
Yeah.
or
Signing day was-
were you just open like
I was
anywhere?
very open.
Gremlin thought they had him.
One day, man.
I wasn't that biased Hog fan growing up. I know I'm losing half the audience when I say that,
no,
but
no,
I
no.
wasn't.
No,
I wasn't that massive Hog fan. My dad,
No, it's
was the
2/3
coach at
Sure.
yeah. When
Because-
dad
because
coached in
it's
Southern
a-
Arkansas. I wasn't a
so you're open
D1
to
baseball
whatever.
guy. I
Yeah.
was I loved Major League Baseball and I loved SAU. That was about it.
NAIA or D3 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I had to face the harsh reality too, though, that if I wanted to play professional baseball, the chances of that happening, me going to SAU, were smaller if they're smaller if I went there as opposed to a really good SEC school or even a really good junior college and then transferring to an SEC school. But that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about junior colleges too, is that you're draft eligible after 1 year.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-year school. You're draft eligible after your freshman year.
I think like Tyler Junior College is known for their baseball program, and they have a lot of draftees out of their program too.
So how did who recommended San Jacinto? Because that was the
Facts.
I had never heard of San Jacinto till Steve tell me about it.
We can't just let that fly.
No, go, man, go.
Jordan doesn't know anything about baseball or sports.
No, I do.
He knows all the batting lineup for Tyler College.
You got a friend? You had a friend there?
Nah,
You had a friend you didn't tell me about?
I'm not just gonna let that slide.
You've been seeing other friends?
no.
No, but so San Jacinto, I don't know. A lot of people have not heard of that.
Right.
Now, after it was explained to me, it's like, no, if you get in San Jacinto, San Jack, I mean, you wind up, they draft a lot of folks after 1 year.
I had a relative that went to San. Is that prison in California?
That's San Quentin.
Never mind.
San Quentin.
Never mind.
You always getting
But he was a good player, though.
yeah, kind of a captured agent, baby. So you get to. So when did you find out? You're in your senior year. You're trying to figure out where you're going to go to school. Mm-hmm. Nobody's really flirting with you that much.
Right.
So how did you get in San Jack?
So
Is that what they call it?
They call it
sounded cool.
San Jack, yeah.
I knew they
Do
would.
they?
Well, they owe me. I'm trademarking that.
So it was the fall of my senior year, before my really good year. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I played in a fall league with. I'm sure you've heard of the Sticks. I played in the fall league with Chase Brewster and the Sticks.
That's who Anderson's in that organization.
That's a really good band.
Mm-hmm. This was
I was gonna do it, but I was gonna let it
kind of
off.
like my dad with that
They
one.
had the best leather pants. Yeah.
They spell it with a Y.
They had like 15 keyboards. Yeah. After the
Okay, so he's playing.
But we digress.
Right.
But I'm playing in this league, and Chase Brewster is our coach. He reaches out to me and says, "Hey, we don't have very many guys. I'm looking to fill spots. I'm not gonna charge you if you come play with us for a few weekends. I know that you're looking for some reps as well. It's in the fall. I'm not doing anything because I'm not playing any other sports at this point.
I'm not going to charge you. I wasn't going to pay you.
I was like, honestly, if I had to
If you want to play,
I wouldn't have done
Right.
it.
I mean,
honestly.
You're a high
Sticks
school
is
student.
one of the cheapest ones. I mean, they don't charge. There's some like freaking Tulsa Elite and play where you have to fly to play. And these people, they put their entire lives on hold for their trying to live vicariously through their kids.
Right.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, no. If
you get me
if you play
started.
travel ball, you pay each each week.
Yeah,
You
you're
have to
like,
pay.
let me come up there and get some reps. And
But there's
stuff.
always scouts.
Right.
So a quick aside, just a question I have from the Jeffrey Orr episode is something he talked about in depth. Did anybody ever buzz your tower?
Buzz my tower.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I still use
'Cause
that.
you had the same look. I was like, what?
buzzing that. Yeah, throwing at your head after you hit a home run.
Somebody tried to throw it behind your neck.
I like the unwritten rules of
consensually.
baseball.
I know it was so cool because he talked about pimping. He pimped one hard, and that dude freaking buzzed his tower.
Yeah, he said he used buzz the tower. I was like, well, okay, we can't talk like that on this podcast,
He-
but we want to look at it later.
I remember him talking. He was so mad at your dad for not signing him. And he went off on SAU. God.
Oh yeah, like
remember that?
alumni game or something.
He has an alumni game. He freaking just hitting bombs.
Like,
And he but that's the one time he ever pimped a coach. Like he pimped the home run. I'm like, dude,
Bat flip.
But if people really knew Coach Goodheart, he's a softie. But anyway,
So they invite you to come up there, free of charge.
this is Sticks though.
Yeah.
Right, and this is just in the
Texarkana.
Central Arkansas area.
Oh, okay, yeah, there.
Southern Central
Okay.
Arkansas area. They just played at local Division II colleges, really.
Yeah.
Like Henderson, Washita, and UAM. It was really only a few weekends that I played with them. But anyways, Coach Brewster, he's like, hey, I know you're uncommitted. You're ranked pretty high now. Where do you want to go? And I was like, I really haven't gotten many offers. I've gotten some Division II offers and some junior college offers, but that's really about it. UCA likes me, Coach Gum. We go back a long
He was
ways.
the
But
SAU coach.
right, But I wouldn't. It was an option at the time. It wasn't I'm dead set on going here. But he's like, so would you go to San Jack if they offered you? And I was like, yeah, probably. I was like, yeah, why? He's like, I know one of the coaches there, and if I got you a workout there, would you go to it? And I was like, absolutely. When and where?
That's cool. Sometimes it is who you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fortuitousness. You know, that's pretty cool.
You're exactly right.
Somebody can open the door, but you got to step through
But you
it.
got to.
Put
That's
in
right.
the work
Because-
to do it.
Well, just like Jeffrey said when he went to that pro tryout, just to open tryout, that he freaking went off.
I remember him talking about that, like just another gear.
And that was at Grambling.
And it was at Grambling where they had it, and he was just cranking it. And
he threw. That's when he was going back to Shreveport
well,
and
they-
threw up in his car.
They,
on the way home.
him and his friend, he was like, they were waiting on him. He's like, he thought he was done, you know. No, but they were waiting. He said, we need to talk to you after. He's like, he thought he was done after you get that BP or something like that. No, they had him signing papers. And he threw up on the way home. Yeah, they all stopped and threw up at the same place because he just realized what really happened. Yeah, but that was an interesting story. Jeffrey's got tons of stories, bro. You get him drunk enough.
You know,
I'm kidding, brother Joe. I'm kidding.
Matt's got some, and he's gonna have a lot more.
But what you were saying was exactly right. Sand Jack. So you got the workout. Your dad was probably happy.
Yeah.
What happens at the workout?
So what happens at the workout?
It was just an okay workout. I didn't do anything exceptional, but they wanted to see me in game-like scenarios. So, Coach Kohler is the coach that's recruiting me from San Jack and says, "Hey,
Great paint. No, that's good. Never mind. I mean, faucets. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
I'm a dad joke.
So what? I mean, a game time situation.
Yeah,
nobody's
so
around.
game-like
Work.
situations.
So do they like have some mascot come out there and just start? Okay, this is getting
Biden
creepy.
throws out the first one.
Like Biden throws out the first pitch.
So did they have like a practice league or
So
did they have?
they actually
scrimmage?
put me on a team for a weekend in Jupiter, Florida. So he knows a guy in Austin that his team is called the Texas National Team, or the Texas National Team.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, this guy, I need to see this guy play against good competition. He's gonna come down there. He can play infield, outfield, and so just do with it what you will. I ended up, next thing I know, next weekend I flew out of Shreveport down to Jupiter, Florida.
Bro, you must have some gangster airline miles going on. You go everywhere, dude.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, a lot of the traveling's driving. It's more miles on the truck than it is.
And San Jackson, San Antonio, right?
Houston.
Houston. So you go from you came back home and then went to Jupiter, or did they send you straight out?
Came back home first.
Okay.
It may not have been the
Couple
next
days
weekend.
or something. A few days, though.
It was within the month though.
It was quick.
It was
So
quick.
when you're driving, who's on your Spotify playlist? Like who's?
Oh, what music?
Yeah, who's top? Who you listen to?
I listen to it. I'm very diverse with the music. Very diverse with the music. As of lately, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Actually, I'm
This one, of course.
I'm a science nerd. I am.
Are you really?
I love science. I listen to a lot of strength and conditioning coaches. There's a guy named Eric Cressy that's he has a podcast that he does. He's the strength and conditioning coordinator for the Yankees and owns Cressy Sports Performance. He actually has a place in Jupiter, Florida.
So you're just listening to some scientific.
this dude,
based-
yeah.
man,
You're like
I got you.
well, we're going to delve into that when you get to U of A about what your passion is. I mean, besides playing baseball,
Right.
it's the science behind it, which was pretty fascinating. And he used some of the stuff when I was watching what he was doing with tag, but he starts talking about, like angle, a bad angle,
Right.
and degrees of blah blah blah, just velocity of rotation and blah 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 and stuff like that. So it's pretty fascinating. Anyway, but yeah. So go ahead.
I ended up went down to Jupiter, played with the national team. Did pretty good. Wasn't anything just out of this world, but well enough that San Jack offered me. So they before I went, the coach said, "Hey, this is probably what we're gonna give you. We're gonna watch you. You know, may tinker some stuff. You know, based on how you play.
Yeah.
Anyway, after one game, the game hadn't even finished yet. Coach Kohler was there in Jupiter. Came up to the dugout. It was chain link fence. He said, "Hey, we're gonna go with that number. I'll be in touch." And then left. And
Wow.
that was that.
You went off after that.
And while I was there, I ended up getting invited to a Baylor camp as well.
Ooh.
Really? And you want to call him back and say, "Hey, dude, I can't make it."
That's a pretty little campus there.
What's unfortunate, so a lot of people don't know this about me. I have a seizure disorder. I have epilepsy. Unfortunately, I missed the Baylor camp because I had my very first seizure.
That restaurant thing, wasn't it? Was that?
Restaurant thing.
You were in the club with the blinking lights.
No, man. I thought I had that a restaurant or something with some friends. I don't remember.
This was in.
That's something
I remember. I just remember when
Ohio.
it happened. That was when Tag was still having to take epilepsy medicine.
That's chalking something up to some divine intervention there. Like, no, you weren't meant to go.
Yeah.
That's right, because it worked out.
Right.
Let's not go to Baylor. Let's get you to the College World Series.
There you
might
go.
wanna
There
go
you
with
go.
that.
That's right. You ain't gonna like him. So he liked whatever he saw. You didn't have to stand out with one area. You apparently had. You were a 5-tool player or whatever.
I guess.
So, yeah.
I guess.
So what happens after that weekend?
Oh, after that weekend. Anyway, not a ton happened from there on up until the spring. Sometime in between those two was when I went to the camp at Arkansas. When I went to the camp at Arkansas, and Coach Van Horn told me they really just didn't have anything left. We got a great lineup coming back. This was the year that Martin and Kerstad were freshmen, and they had a lot of older guys in the lineup too, with Shaddy and a lot of guys draft eligible. And I was like,
Van Horn rethought that one after that last game. There's nothing you could do. Couldn't take it back.
We got to get
I'm
to
just kidding.
his views.
Yeah,
on that.
that's right. I'm just kidding.
No, and anyway, I was like, hey, I understand, but I have some schools that are willing to help me and my family out financially.
You didn't try to
than
drop
that.
Do you know who I am, Van?
But
Do you know who I am?
And that's the thing.
If he had to hit me, my dad would have.
That's the thing I don't understand. But football drives so much revenue for these schools, but baseball they're so lacking. And you look at U of A. I mean, the facility they had built
Trash.
Your junior year or senior year?
It started my junior year and finished.
And how much was that facility just for baseball?
Millions and millions.
Oh yeah, tens of millions.
Yeah, it was
Like shoot y'all with lasers and
70
crap on
millions.
that.
Or
Yeah,
something.
something
I
like
think
that.
it's 70 million.
70
or
million.
something like that.
Just for
They
including
better
the
keep
dunk.
them lasers off.
No, it was just for baseball and softball.
It's just baseball.
Just baseball. 70 million.
Man.
But they can't afford scholarships for everybody. That's what.
Or a third assistant coach.
Or a third assistant. So, it seems like the Waltons just say, I'm going to write baseball check. But that's a NCAA thing. You can only do so much with scholarships. And it's always been lacking. Where freaking scrubs can get scholarships in football. But anyway, I digress.
Right.
So there wasn't a spot for you, so you go to San Jack.
Right. I go to San Jack, and it's interesting. There's a lot of guys out there. San Jack has to allow walk-ons so that the school can get their tuition money.
Oh, okay.
So there were 67 guys out there on day one. And I'm like, what is going on?
That's a try out there.
I was like, I'm starting to feel less and less special since there's almost 100 guys out here, and they're all baseball players at supposedly one of the best junior colleges in the country.
Man, ain't nobody getting a run when we all out in the field.
How many Dominicans and
There were a few. That's kind of my first introduction into that world.
they grow up just do,
Right.
that's all they do.
What do you mean that world? I'm kidding.
It's good, yeah.
I'm kidding.
I mean, they're
Baseball
elementary.
world.
So like if
It's
they
international.
think you're going to be a baseball player, I mean it's elementary school. I mean they're baseball from 6 or 7 years of age.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. But so 100, it had to be intimidating. But he had already said he wanted you.
Right. And it was a lot of it was just kind of throwing pool at the wall and seeing what stuck.
Yeah.
We ended up playing. So junior colleges play a full 20 game schedule in the fall, as opposed to as opposed to Division twos or in Division ones where they can only play maybe one or two.
Right.
So we ended up playing like 20 games, and I had a really good fall.
Yep.
Really good fall, and they told me, it's like, hey, you're going to be hitting 1 through 3 in the lineup. You're not going anywhere.
Man,
That,
that's got to be a good feeling.
yeah. We'll see when you get back. This was the right before winter break.
What was the velocity change between when you left Magnolia High School, your last game you played for Magnolia, and then you go to San Jack, hitting BP? Your first BP, was it great?
Oh man. So BP itself was okay. The BP itself was fine. The in-game
120 over
pitching
80s.
Yeah.
Pretty
was.
You got to, but you have some dude just up there throwing.
Dad joke.
You just got some dude up there throwing your balls just
Right.
to get your swings in.
So
But
that's definitely the biggest adjustment to competition wasn't pitching wise, wasn't whenever I went to Arkansas from San Jack. It was when I went from high school to San Jack. And it went
Because
from
these are
a bunch of
future
guys
pros.
that,
Yeah.
70 to 80 miles an hour. I go to San Jack, and there are guys anywhere from 85 to 100. I mean, one of the guys on our team literally threw 100. He's at A&M, Texas A&M now. His name's Trey Dillard. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And funny enough, whenever we played a team, another junior college called McLennan,
Yeah.
they had a guy, his name was Josh Bro. He ended up being drafted in the second round. He and Dillard both hit 100 in the same inning. And I'm sitting there in the dugout thinking, I had this so confused. I had this all wrong. I'm thinking, for the longest, I thought junior colleges were for these guys that aren't very good. Man, these guys, I mean, and then, as I've become more and more versed in the area, I realized that these junior colleges are real. They're real deal. They're legit.
Yeah.
They can
Their
play.
farm system for the big guys.
And they can now play Division Ones in the fall.
Yeah.
And it is
Oh, really?
it is. This happened the COVID year.
Huh.
San Jack beat University of Houston.
Dag.
San Jack played extra innings with Texas.
Man,
That ain't bad.
And and the year that I was there had, I believe it was the same amount or one fewer drafted as Arkansas did that year.
Wow.
The year that they went, that's the year of the drop fly ball.
Well, see, again, so I'm watching, and we want to get into that
The
story.
infamous year.
So, but in high school, we don't have very many dudes that was throwing like 80, 82. Maybe
Right.
if you had 82, somebody was stroking in high school.
Right.
And you're going, and they're throwing 80 warming up.
How
right?
fast was Marvin Aubrey throwing at Emerson when they had a baseball team?
man, he had to have been up in the high 60s.
Yeah, I think it was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I played against Emerson before. 72.
Like that was
so,
60 high though.
Yeah.
I mean, like if he was not puffing before, we're talking about
a good 58.
We're talking about low 70s all day.
I mean, easy. son.
He got to where he could catch up with his bare hand.
So were you at San Jack 2 years, or did you go?
I was there just 1 year.
1 year.
While I was there, so San Jack they do a really good job of getting guys exposure. There's usually Dad makes this joke all the time. He said there's usually in attendance more area scouts and Division I programs scouting players than there are actual people. He makes the joke that he went to San Jack to watch me play and was looking for someone to take attendance, get his ticket, and there wasn't anyone. He walked up to an area scout and just started talking.
So
to
how
him.
do you wind up at Arkansas after that year?
So I kept in touch with the coaches that were there, mostly Coach Van Horn and Coach Wes Johnson, who was there at the time, and
that's hitting coach, assistant coach. He's just assistant.
Coach Johnson was the pitching coach.
Pitching coach.
He is now he's now the big league pitching coach for the Twins.
Oh, okay.
And he had known me from, let's see, he was at SAU for a year, then he was at UCA, then he went to Mississippi State, and he's been all over the place.
He coached for your dad, didn't he?
I think he was after.
Okay,
I think he was
okay.
after my dad. Anyway, they did know each other fairly well, though. I'm pretty sure. But several teams had come, and they were asking if I would leave after 1 year, and I was like, yeah, I would. I absolutely would. Not that I dislike it here, but I want to get
play
into
for the Hogs.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get into a program and prove that I belong in the SEC. I belong, with with these guys, and you know, I mean, it's kind of sink or swim in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, if I go up there and I don't belong here, then that's all I need to know for pretty much the rest of my life, to be completely honest. If I can't compete here, then I just can't compete here, and it's time to really, you know, consider what I'm doing, you know.
Good education though.
You're
Great education.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go, and I know talking about the velocity and stuff like that, we're talking about 100 miles an hour. It's just a totally different, I mean, you're guessing basically now. You had to learn how to start guessing instead of waiting on being
having an approach.
Pitches. Yeah, having an approach and stuff. So do you remember your first official at bat? Not so you could play one or two things during the fall, but when you get the spring season, do you remember your first official at bat? And who was it against? Do you remember who was pitching?
Oh, my first official at bat. You're talking about a Sanjak, right?
No, I'm sorry. When you went to U of A.
Oh,
so 1 year after that, so you get transferred. You get up to Fayetteville. You're ready to rock and roll. You're practicing, doing your stuff.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. In the fall, my first scrimmage at bat was off Isaiah Campbell.
Oh wow! Okay.
My very first.
That break in.
Yep. And I hit a single.
Did you really?
Hit a single on the right.
Thought I got pegged in the thigh.
Man, you remember Isaiah? You ever watch him pitch? Isaiah Campbell. That's that tall black dude.
Right,
He just beautiful motion. And could freaking bring it. What he did
he
low
wasn't-
90s.
he wasn't a lefty,
93.
was he?
93, 95.
Yeah,
Right-handed.
He'd
Right-handed.
He just threw heaters. I mean, he had a lot of movement on the ball. But,
Yeah, he was really good. He ended up going, I believe, in the second round to the Mariners. He's still playing. But that was my first at bat at Arkansas. My first in game opponent would have been against Eastern Illinois in the spring. I don't remember much about that series, but I remember being freezing. Yeah, and it always is. The first couple of weekends at Fayetteville.
Well, that was one of them. Y'all scored. Was it 26?
Appreciate you, Tennessee 5.
Tennessee 5. Why is he out?
He's dipping out.
Oh man, we'll see. He's on Eastern Seaboard. No, I mean, he's on the Eastern time zone. So anyway, getting too late for him. What was I going to ask you? Dadgummit. What we're talking about? Tennessee 5 threw me off again.
God, Tennessee 5.
I'm glad you're gone.
You're talking about first in game.
Yeah. Y'all beat, was it Eastern Illinois? Y'all beat like 26. Who did y'all score 36 or 26 runs against?
We scored 27. This was this past spring.
Oh.
This was recent. This was against Pine Bluff, UAPB.
Oh, well, we did too. So, just kidding. I'm kidding.
Why are you going to do that to the boys?
Alma mater.
Golden Lions.
Golden Lions.
Yeah. Is that one like the first base coach puts you off base? You'll be out. No. So what? So you make it to the first game. You're Eastern Illinois. You kind of play, but your first SEC. Who we play first? Vandy. Or who did you play first? SEC.
First SEC was Mizzou.
How'd you do?
I went.
Well, that don't really count because they're trash.
Ain't that right, Seth?
Went 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. My first SEC game. I was actually facing our number 1 from Sanjak. I was good friends with him. His name's Jacob Candleberry. He's now in the Dodgers organization.
Really?
And
he told you what was coming in.
Indirectly, I know him well. I was like,
You
okay.
knew his tendencies?
I knew his tendencies. I know what he likes to throw to guys, and I guess guessed right.
Yeah.
There was some guy beating on a trash can in your dugout. Don't lie.
Man, that's
Pulling old Astros stuff.
Fro don't like when you bring that up. That's like January 6th. They do not bring up the trash can.
You knew exactly what he was throwing if he was throwing underhanded, right? So you right down the middle.
But go ahead.
Well, I for the sake of the Tennessee 5, I don't know how many other. I just got to get to when. Whose fault is it? Whose fault? Who let the ball fall?
We got to know about Shad. When he shad off.
I'm not going to blame
When he shaddied all over himself.
But you're there. Right. This is game.
Yeah. And we all.
And
we all knew what to do. No, but your daddy got on to me about when I said about shadding.
All right. Yeah. So from your vantage point, what's happening?
Yeah.
Y'all are on defense.
Should have put the picture.
Go.
Right.
Go ahead.
So at this point, I was at the game. I was committed to Arkansas at this point. I was still at San Jack, but this was in the summer after our year. I got to go watch the College World Series, and man, you could talk about all the little nuances that occurred throughout the game.
We know what. Okay, we know the situation. Explain the situation for the folks who haven't watched Hogs, or if you're not a baseball fan or a Hogs baseball fan. Explain what it meant. All right. So, what was the situation? How many games were we up? We're in the College World Series. It was what was the series?
We were up.
Three.
They play a best of three. Best two of three.
Yeah.
And
so
they had already won one. They needed to win one more.
Had to win one.
Arkansas needed to win one more, and we're in the bottom or top, whichever inning it was. So Arkansas had to be the home team. Okay,
Yep.
Arkansas had to be the home team, and Arkansas's up 1 run on Oregon State, who this year in 2018 had an unbelievable lineup. They had 4 first rounders in the offense alone.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of.
They all right.
Yeah, that was unreal. So Matt Cronin is the closer. He's really, really good as well.
He's a freak.
Yep. And in the science of it, he has what's called he has a really freakish fastball. It's just unlike any other fastball.
Whoa, you went way over heads there.
Yeah.
Freakish fastball.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So
It's really fast and has a lot of power.
You're so smart. No, I don't want to get too scientific. It was really fast.
it was fast.
Like
Just
bullet
define that.
fast?
Yeah. Well, it's so Derek, we talked about this the other day, man. You know, because Derek has talked about this with me. First time he had ever seen like 98 or so. It looks like the ball goes to your bat. You swear it's there, but it looks like it rises because it breaks just a little bit of that. The gravity doesn't pull it down as much,
right?
And you swing under it. It's ridiculous when they start throwing it hard. But anyway,
a lot of So my senior year at Arkansas. My last semester was an internship with our hitting and pitching analytics guys. And I learned about all this stuff and how to use this information to just be better and to coach and so on and so forth. But basically, you're exactly what you're saying. That's why Matt Cronin was good, was that his fastball gravity just didn't take it over.
Yeah.
And scouts literally called it a unicorn fastball because the science metrics on it were unlike anything they had ever seen.
the rotation was the fastest, wasn't it?
It had the highest spin rate that some scouts had ever seen.
Yeah.
Hey Jay, what was when you were playing? Like, what was the hitting analytics that you were taught?
Yeah, I played
Keep your hands together.
choke up on the bat if you need to.
Eye on the ball.
My dad taught me. I mean, he broke it down like you were saying scientifically, because he stood me out there, dropped one in the pitching machine, and it came in there and just hit me in the side. He's like, he said, "Now, if you do that in the game, you get on the base.
You look for it every game.
But here's how to take that hit and not hurt anything on the inside." You hear me?
Yeah.
Didn't you and Burns and didn't we play Little League for Willamette
Something like
and Emerson? Yeah, we had the green jerseys
We got to get a picture of that.
with the big hats that you don't know are too big until you're older.
Like when you swing, they keep spinning around.
Did you ever play around with the pitching machine?
I think that's what it was that year, was pitching machine.
I have one.
But we didn't
well,
have.
supposed to be my best friend. He's the one in prison now. But I cranked that sucker. The coaches should never walk away. And anyway, he let me. He said, "Yeah, you can do it." So I did the pitching machine in my boy. I cranked it up to 100 when he wasn't looking.
Right. Oh no!
And you're thinking, okay, what's just going? It's throwing
they're
strikes.
gonna be dangerous.
It's throwing strikes already.
Yeah.
No, I'm doing it to 100. It
No,
don't know.
it's gonna.
It's
He's gonna throw it off.
Smoked him.
buzzed his tire.
See,
He
what-
thought he was going to die. He literally, like his life flashed before his eyes. Like he saw it was a white dot but it missed him.
Well,
Some
Jordan and I were in
Batman.
Emerson. I mean, the little league. We didn't have a big sponsor or anything. People donate money, so we didn't have anything to put in the pitching
Purple Hole
machine.
Pea?
But I mean, we were throwing apples in there. Boy,
No, it's really fun to hit oranges.
I yoked an orange. Anyway,
Some dude messed up, put a tangerine in there.
broke my bat.
Everyone you hit's a sweet spot. So, all right, so
It almost broke my 4x4.
So Shaddy, you're watching him, and you're the one reaching over the fence trying to catch the foul ball.
Was that you? Was that
Were you sitting there?
Not quite that close.
Kathy Camp's got a good take on that. That's serious. Okay.
right? It's equivalent. You know exactly where you were when you were watching.
Golly, yeah.
It was almost in slow motion because you saw everybody on the field go.
Okay, so we're
hit
at
the
I
ground.
still listen to that song.
All right, it's 1-1. We're at the end of the game. Take it.
Oh, we're up by one.
Yeah. I'm talking about series wise.
Series-wise.
No, 1-0.
1-0. Okay,
All we had to do
sorry.
is win this one, and we go.
Oh, yeah.
We're in the
It's-
regional.
Dang, Chase, listen, dang.
This is the World Series. Like this
No, this
is
is the World- that's
This
right.
is the World Series
Sorry,
championship.
my bad. That's because
Oregon State, bro.
I watched it.
He's talking about that dude that's got that mean fastball. but how fast can he throw an orange?
But the problem, I know, but
You can't put no spin on no orange like that.
but he can talk about Cronin. The only problem is, and maybe that was it.
I saw Trevor Rogers throw an orange like 85 miles an hour.
That daggum Emerson Ball. I don't know why they canceled. I knew why they canceled y'all program. I didn't. But the funny thing is, maybe Shaddy thought the defense was supposed to be out there. That's what.
Dang.
Because you talking about Cronin. Cronin didn't have anything to do with that.
So set
Right.
the scene.
So, guy has 2 strikes on him.
Yeah, he does. 2 outs.
I can't. It's a really good hitter. I believe it's Adley Rutschman who ends up going first overall the next year. He's really, really good. Anyway, Cronin has 2 strikes on him.
And we had
Pop up.
freaking butt puckering.
Where everybody,
2 strikes.
everybody is on edge.
Can you feel it in the stadium? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Everyone's like-
You can feel it over the TV. Freaking shocked
There was
me.
no doubt. There was no doubt in anyone's minds that it was about to be over.
Yeah.
And pop up over by the tarp, just past the first base in the corner
And
area.
this dude's a senior.
And
Isn't it 2 out? It's this point.
It's 2
there's
outs.
2 outs.
Yeah.
There's 2 outs.
And this guy's a senior.
So Jared Gates, the first baseman, Shaddy, the second baseman, and Eric Cole all kind of converge. On at the same time.
like a little league.
And Shaddy is running after it really, really like
Purposefully.
exactly a
He
lot of
hustles.
effort.
Yeah.
And the deal with this though is those that know baseball know that the outfielder should have overcall over the infielder.
That's correct.
And if you go and watch, Eric Cole didn't go after it very hard. But that being said, he thought that since Shaddy had called him, that he was going to get to it easily.
Shaddy
But-
called him off. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if Shaddy's calling it like that and Eric Cole thinks that he's camped underneath it, then he should let him have it. But he wasn't camped underneath it.
Yeah.
So my take on it is that it was just a misunderstanding.
Miscommunication,
It was a
yeah.
miscommunication between all 3 guys. This play, so for Gates, the first baseman, this play is almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's really hard to run back.
Yeah, he had
It's
to
a
run
really high
backwards. He
pop-up.
couldn't have
It's
done it.
dark. It's dark. That's another confounding variable that a lot of people don't think of how hard it is to see at night. See pop-ups at
Them
night.
bright lights and stuff. getting in the
Exactly.
way. Yeah.
And of course, Shaddy's trying to catch it. It's not an easy play for any of the guys.
Right.
Shaddy overruns it because it's backspinning.
Yeah.
He fouls it off. It's backspinning back towards the field. Shaddy's running this way, falls back this way.
Because you always know
Got it.
catchers out there that miss so many freaking balls, and I'm talking about softball players. Face the field when you catch a pop up, isn't there?
Yep. That's exactly right.
But they always turn backwards and it spins out their glove. and I'm going to slap them right
So
across the face.
the ball falls in slow motion.
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
it just you're there.
It does on my video because I put it.
What I mean, what do you do when the ball just
Honestly,
And everybody just hot potato.
I was like,
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, honestly, in my mind, there's 2 strikes and 2 outs with no one on.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it's like, okay, fine. No big deal. No one's hurt. All you need to do is make one more pitch.
But for some reason, though, at home, you could feel the momentum change just on that.
They're like, okay, we got.
I started crying and turned the TV off. I was like, this is over.
And they had
Weird.
they
'Cause
had
I'm thinking
that-
we're still winning, but the
right.
moment
They
you
had
felt-
that feeling because they know that their lineup can change things around at literally with one pitch. This guy went first overall in the COVID year. The COVID year. I think he was the first pick.
Yeah.
He was the single best guy.
Yeah.
So, these guys are.
Seth.
Some sense.
Yeah.
From Missouri. What's up? We got to do a sponsor for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, anyway, I'm thinking, okay, one more pitch is all we need, right? And one thing leads to another, and Cronin walks Rushman to face a guy named Trevor Larnick, who is also really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what pitch it was in the at-bat. I don't remember what the count was, but
Kabloom.
Rushman, not Rushman, I'm sorry. Larnick hits a laser. I'm like, oh, I hope that doesn't leave the yard. I hope that doesn't leave the yard. And sure enough, it just barely scrapes over the bullpen wall. And
Is a frozen rope.
That home run gave them the lead.
Yeah.
And Arkansas didn't score the next inning.
Yeah, they were done. They were done. I mean,
and they won that game, and then the next game was Oregon State's the entire game. They threw a guy named Abel, and he spun a gem. He just did really, really, really well.
we dismantled them the first game.
We did beat them
Not,
good. No other way to put it.
yeah, but Arkansas, this thing, they were done after that occurred. So I don't know. That's it's interesting on your take.
Predictions on how Arkansas is going to do
Right.
of this year.
Oh, it's really hard to say. It's always really hard to say this early. I don't
Are
understand.
you going into
why-
politics or baseball? Go ahead.
Nice.
Sorry.
It's always hard to say this early, but I'm confused as to why the rankings are so all over the place. You see,
Different polls have them different.
one of the polls has them like 20th, and then
Wow.
there's one that has them as high as second or third, I believe.
Oh my God, that's
a pretty big disparity.
Yeah, that's a big.
I don't understand what that's about.
So about 538
they
versus Trafalgar.
They should definitely be somewhere in between there, right? And I figured they were going to be ranked lower than what we had been last year, based on the transfers, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I think they're going to be good. I think the pitching is less worrisome than a lot of people think it is, just because of who the new guys are, the freshman class. Someone mentioned on one of the podcasts, the Hog Beat podcast, noticed that all the transfers were hitters, not pitchers. So what does that tell you? That Coach Van Horn has a lot of confidence
got a
in
solid
who's
pitching
there
staff.
already and who's coming in.
That'll
And-
give you confidence instead of
Right.
saying, what's he doing?
Right. You guys, you saw opening weekend. You saw what that freshman did.
Yeah.
This was from the fall on. Guys I'm like, who's going to be the rotation? And they're like, man, we got some freshmen that can throw it.
Do we have
Really
any of them
throw
from Arkansas? Any native Arkansas?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not for sure. I don't know them real well.
So your next step, you're about to leave for spring training, official spring training. So do they? Well, how is spring training? Because you haven't necessarily got pegged for A ball necessarily.
Right.
Explain to people how that works, because you have like we know like a D League, G League kind of stuff in the NBA. Right. He knows all about that. Never got to play there, but he could have. I think he could have. I think he still could.
He definitely could have.
In the D
I didn't
League.
hear what you said.
Oh, NBA. I know. I'm used to that. Just kidding. So what league did you play in? What did you do waiting on spring training? So you signed with the Phillies, and what happens?
I signed with the Phillies, reported within days from Cape Cod, played in rookie ball, had about 40 at-bats in rookie ball. It used to be different. After COVID, they ended up actually getting rid of like 42 different minor league teams.
That's something a lot of people do not know.
Right.
There used to be a ton of independents back
Right.
in the 70s and and stuff, and they got rid of them. They went all farm clubs, A, double A, triple A,
Was the captains?
But
What
no-
were the captains?
double A.
Okay.
They were with San Diego, the Padres. No, Giants. They were San Francisco Giants. Yeah, because I remember when they get some of those people get injured. I got to see King Griffey Jr. play.
Really?
When against the captains.
Because when they get hurt, they rehab.
Yeah,
through
rehab
the-
down there.
through the minors, right?
Yeah, and double A is really where you want to. That's where you want, because you don't want to get stuck in. If you get stuck in triple A, you're there. Right.
Can be for sure.
A lot of times because you're sending folks down that just they'll come up and they'll come right back down. And if you've been in the farm club too long, you're in triple A, you're never going.
Right.
Double A is where you want to be.
A lot of
Right.
context dependency.
So right now, so you had your 48 bats. So they have a rookie league. A lot of people don't understand that. We have this rookie league.
Right.
Because you don't have a lot of farm clubs now. They let go of it because of COVID and the money and stuff.
It's kind of like the entry level before you get into. There's two levels of single A ball. There's low A and high A.
Oh,
And then there's double A and triple A.
no.
And a lot of the teams that got rid of were either rookie ball teams, or in that used to be three levels of single A. There used to be low A, just regular A ball, and then high A. Which was, I don't know
weird.
why that was the thing,
That's
but
many
that's
people.
what it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was probably about to get sent up to low A, but regular season ended, and then we go into what's called the instructional league, which is basically where the new guys in the organizations and the young guys kind of all come together and pretty much have a camp for 2 or 3 weeks. And whenever I was there, it gets even more interesting. I graduated from the La Quinta to a Holiday Inn.
Bro.
That's when you know you made it.
There's a but. My roommate was Dominican and did not speak any, and I mean not a word of English.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. It was really interesting. His name's Mejia. He's a great dude. Don't get me wrong.
So you had to carry the conversation.
Pretty much.
Do you know what a hamburger is?
And I know hamburguesa.
Oh.
That's
So you learn all kind of fancy stuff.
Mi español es más o menos.
One of the best. Hey, ask Jeffrey Orr about he was taking BP with Deion Sanders and about
Oh, yeah, that's
the
a good
foot
one.
race against the new Dominican that came into camp.
How do you even know that, Robbie?
Robbie, why do you?
What did he say?
He said La Quinta has a better mattress, though.
Oh my gosh, he likes
I like the
he likes
La Quinta.
that.
Hashtag
I really
third
do.
He
on
likes
the
that,
boys.
he likes that fancy continental.
The La
breakfast.
Quinta had a courtyard, and we had a sliding glass door that you could go in and out of.
Yeah.
And it was just it was just cooler vibe.
That's
honestly.
almost like details.
about the vibes.
Yeah, well, it's
It really
like,
is.
well, I mean, Holiday Inn has better light bulbs, but
where I
you know,
Doesn't La Quinta mean the knife or something like? No, so. All right, so you got this Dominican dude. He taught you how to hit. Apparently, that's what happened. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right, so you do the rookie league. 40. You get 40 at bats. This camp.
saw a roll
Are y'all
today.
scrimmaging? Or are y'all playing other in the? Are y'all playing other? What do you call it?
Now I'm drawing a blank.
Not the rookie league, but the development. Not a development league.
Instructional league.
Instructional
Good
league.
grief.
So is this in Florida?
Yes, this is exact same place actually. So the Phillies rookie ball and low A are actually like right across the street from each other in Clearwater, Florida.
Cool.
And we did so. The instructional league was at the complex for the low A,
Okay.
and everyone was there together.
so you seeing where you're at now, and potentially where you have left to go. I mean, from a kid from a small town, and even a private Christian school, and then a 4A school. I said 5A at that time, I think. wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, still a small town.
Yeah.
But I mean, a twisted journey. I mean, no college offers really that you were really just dying to go, and then seeing where you're at now. I mean, somebody out here is probably going, this man's got a story to tell. I mean, what do you tell somebody that's like, I haven't even gotten a look from anybody yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a story with my dad that I like to tell that kind of goes well with this, and
Let me play some background music.
it's you'll have to ask him about it because I'm probably going to butcher it a little bit. But basically, after he graduated, he was looking for a place to be a grad assistant, and he ended up he either didn't have a place to go or something. Anyway, he told the coaches at Arizona, "Hey, I'm coming, and you find a place for me." That's pretty much exactly how he went. And he drove there, showed up, and
That's what I did. And they said, "Yeah, you got to go." The guards. The first time I was arrested.
He's like
You have a restraining order here.
So he just packed. He just went.
Right. He just went, and he was doing apparently a lot of kind of janitor type work, maintenance.
Like
and
Rudy.
stuff.
I think that's the plot of Orange County with Jack Black when they're getting accepted into Stanford, so he just went and camped out there to get.
I think he watched Rudy.
Oh, okay.
Weird. Have you ever asked him about? You sure wasn't Notre Dame? anyway, so he went and volunteered to pick up trash. He did whatever just to be. A lot of times, and we tell that's why we always want all the naughty girls be the manager. Mm-hmm. Get them used to seeing you on the bench, on the field, shagging balls. Get them used to seeing you there.
Right.
And almost always you start the next year. They just used to seeing you. You just hang around. Mm-hmm. And he hung around, hustled.
But you
for just himself.
and you also just followed opportunities that were given to you. I mean, you even though I might as well give this a try. Like this college, this little JUCO that bad players go play it. Then you see what's happening there. You're like, okay, maybe I underestimate it. Yeah. So don't underestimate.
Don't underestimate what
but take
JUCOs
opportunities that are.
You got to walk through the door.
And there's a motivation there's a chip on my shoulder throughout this as well.
That's a good
part
point.
that I haven't talked a ton about pretty much at all was even from the time that I transferred from Columbia Christian to Magnolia, there were how small towns work.
Right.
There were
There's gonna be a lot of people say you might as well get ready for Walmart, boy.
And in fact, TC Graham is a perfect example. I can say this now because me and TC are great friends.
Yeah.
After all this went down, he ended up telling a girl that I was friends with at Magnolia, who he didn't know I was friends with, he's coming over here. He's going to struggle. I don't think he's going to,
I heard because that was what was being said. Taylor and
and he's going to struggle in Magnolia. Anyway,
I knew better.
So the folks in Magnolia that kind of helped you along. I think Alan mentioned that you were J.R. Bonner and folks like that were really big in trying to help you out. Was that the strength and conditioning? So because he owned like the CrossFit stuff. For a little while,
that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I started working out with him. It would have been the fall of when I transferred. So all of this kind of happened at the same time.
Yeah. But what you did when you made the transfer, that was you dedicated yourself. That was the other thing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like what Lee Trevino said about golf. He said the more I practice, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. More. Just
you create.
That's what happens in my business. Do the things that make you uncomfortable.
Right.
Do the things that stretch your expectations. Be willing to make a fool out of yourself, and you'll be surprised because I've met a lot of professionals. I've met a lot of rich people. I've met a lot of people. Finance guys. I got a friend that's on CNBC, Bloomberg, and all that. He's no smarter than me. He just knows how to talk on TV. They're just regular people,
and that's why I'm really, really grateful for the influences that I had, like Dad and JR and those guys. They made it a point. They made it a point that it was important for me to challenge myself and to put myself in those opportunities where it's kind of sink or swim, like I was saying earlier. And if you don't go through that, then one, you'll never know how good you could have been.
Yep.
And you'll never know of these opportunities that you mentioned that you probably wouldn't have had,
Right.
And of course, deep down, there's a little bit of, man, I'm going to this big school and all these, these massive athletes. This is Magnolia High School. These guys are great. They're good at baseball and, and then, I always talking, Coach Graham tells the story, years later, I was messing with him. I was like, remember when you said I was going to struggle? And he's like, yeah, that lasted all of an hour.
Yeah, you got to be stretching. You have to stretch yourself. If you're not doing something that makes you uncomfortable, you're not growing.
Well, two things that I've heard recently. One, not so recently, but I heard guys say the other day that of course, mine are all basketball analogies. Was like Michael Jordan was way more talented than anybody else. I mean, but he also worked harder than everybody else.
Yeah.
And he said if he didn't work harder than anybody else, but was still more talented than anybody, you never would have heard his name.
That's right.
So it's just, what are you going to do with the talent to develop it? Because you can be a natural all day, but it ain't going to get you anywhere unless you put in the work. Sounds like he did.
That's right. Because
That's when it really started.
talking about one man can't win a team, one man can't turn a team around. There, yeah, they can. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you watch that, I love that documentary.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I heard something the other day. I don't know if I've ever told you about it, but like Julius Randle. Of course, I don't watch a lot of NBA anymore anyway. But Julius Randle, I think he's on the Knicks. He played for the Lakers for a little while. Played with Kobe Bryant for just a little bit when he first got drafted. And Kobe was like telling him, "Hey, it doesn't matter what time you get to." This is after Kobe retired, I guess. He said, "Go get better, keep working. I'll show you some this and that. But even if it's just you in the gym, you stay there. You know, and if you got a game the next day and you land at 3 a.m., find somewhere a gym." Basketball gym that you can get access to, old high school, old whatever, doesn't matter what time. Go in there, get some shots up, and work on it, and then get ready for the game and stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't matter what time you land. And he said he went, started playing for the Knicks. Kobe had been retired for a while, and then they're going to like Minnesota or somewhere to play the Timberwolves, and they land. Knicks land, and he calls around and finds some custodian to open a gym at 3 a.m. And he lets him go in there and get some shots up. And he said, "Man, I don't think anybody's ever asked me to do this except one person. Kobe Bryant asked me to open this gym."
Yeah,
20 years
man.
ago."
That's pretty
That
good.
make you feel good, right there. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, you know, that's like Drew Brees. After an NFL game, most of those dudes they out. I mean, they're going home, they're soaking in that hot tub, and then they get into the house. Mm-hmm. He'd go back on the field and quarterback. He would run all the plays again in his head. What could he have done better? And that's why Drew Brees became Drew Brees. I mean, after getting beat up all day, that's what he would do, was run all the formations and stuff in his head after a game. So it takes that extra little bit, and you have to. Once you're given the opportunity, you've got to be the hardest worker. And talent, you can be the most naturally talented person in the world, and they flame out. I mean, NBA is easy to name a lot of folks, but you occasionally, when you find that little spark, when you're given that little chance, like look at Wiggins with Golden State. Mm-hmm. The dude, he was flaming out because he was the only talented person on his team, but he wasn't a Michael Jordan that instead of taking it as a challenge and lifting the team up, he pouted. He goes to Golden State, first year, he makes All-Stars.
Yeah.
And he makes All-Star game. And he's just lighting it up. And his numbers aren't that much better, but he made the All-Star game because he turned into a team player. And,
a lot of his attitude too.
His attitude was terrible, but he actually deep down he was a really great guy. It changed his attitude, and so a lot of it's attitude. Once you believe in yourself, but then if you lose that faith in yourself, I don't care how good you are.
Right. Do you still do the CrossFit stuff now, or do you change it out and you're on like a different program?
It's not exactly CrossFit. There are some components of CrossFit that kind of carry over. But it's velocity driven a lot. There's a lot of strength training as well.
Yeah.
But trying to describe it would really take us into the whole weeds.
So you're going to be the next like Jose Canseco or something?
Probably not the same path.
I got some stuff in the bag.
Celebrity boxing match, baby.
I got some stuff in that bag. Help you play real good.
How fast you want to run?
But you're talking about the science of it, and you took, because you're still U of A is it's not an easy win just to get a degree from there. Right. And so you took some of your last courses were in just the science of the swing dynamics, and which I didn't know you could even focus on that. Just swing dynamics.
That's a legit class.
So it's not necessarily like, it wasn't like a legit class like you're describing, where we sat down on a desk. It was,
no.
It was like
Like an internship.
Like I did a 9-hour internship where I showed up to Bomb Walker and hung out with our hitting analytics guy and our hitting coach. Phil Sibuhar was the analytics guy, and we talked all the time. And it wasn't just me showing up there early. He was my roommate at one point as well during the COVID year, and he's a really smart guy too.
You made an excellent point the other day when he was practicing some tag in between. He was playing around or whatever, because as soon as science comes up, he tunes out. But it fascinated me because a lot of times we didn't have these kind of analytics when we played.
Right.
You know, and if somebody's good, it's just, oh, they're good. And you could be good, but if the coach didn't think you were, you just weren't good. And you believed, well, I'm not any good.
Back in my day.
So here's the deal. And there's going to be people that say, I played against Matt Goodheart. He ain't know all that. But when you start really breaking down the dynamics of it and the analytics, you find out that you were actually elite in one area, and specifically you're ultra elite in one area. And he's breaking down the dynamics of the swing. So you were talking about what percentage you are just in the Phillies organization, correct? It was bat speed. Wasn't that right?
Yeah.
You were in the 40 percentile at bat speed?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. But you were,
man, I don't remember the exact numbers.
but you were the top 10%.
So there's two different measures. Most of these are measured with a little sensor on the knob of the bat called blast motion.
Yeah.
And
We got that sucker.
the two, yeah.
Didn't know how to use it until the other day. Until you told me.
You ever
got
tried to hit a ball with a tens unit?
He's got. We're here to play some tens baseball. Yeah, man. Oh, just take it seriously, man.
I got one.
You're
I do.
man.
Hey, I love those things.
It's nice.
Science.
Homie got a friend.
Right.
He's got a friend at Blast, and I'm texting and driving. Wasn't supposed to. But
Hey.
But Matt wouldn't stop texting me. And he's watching the Hogs play, and his girlfriend's getting mad at him because
I'm on my phone talking about hitting analytics.
which is what me and his dad do. We're just talking about all this baseball stuff, and I tell Anderson, I'm sorry, we just got back done with their practice. Mm-hmm. We come back, I'm like, he was texting, and it was like non-stop. It was like, oh, I found a swing nerd. And he was telling me all this stuff, all these angles and stuff, all this stuff. But he would kind of had broken down what you found was a key to your. I mean, it was analytics, not necessarily. You can't be taught to do that. It's just you have it, right? And that part was rotational velocity.
Yeah, the technical word is rotational acceleration.
A rotational acceleration of your swing. So most of you kids out there know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So tell them a little about that. What you found out when you were doing all that through Blast.
So there's another statistic I'm going to brush on as well. That this one was more applied whenever I was at Arkansas. That was just kind of under the radar. But let's see. Comparing the two, it's like it's a good analogy. So you have two cars, right? One car gets up to 60 miles an hour. That's the velocity that it's going. So the bat speed is just the peak speed that the bat's moving. Rotational acceleration is how long it takes the car to get to 60 miles an hour.
0 to
or
60.
how quickly it takes the bat to get to peak speed. Does that make sense? So the bat speed is good. It's definitely above the college average and in the professional realm. But it's not just out of this world, like, not in the top 10 guys to ever swing a bat or anything like that.
You're kind of middle of the pack, somewhere around there. But it's good.
Man, Miss Ward gave me a problem like this one time in high school. I sure enough didn't get it right.
My answer was 6 oranges.
And I hit them all.
So
I bet it's the same muscles. Like if you throw a good jab in boxing, like that quick.
I bet the analytics
muscle.
that they
It's all
have
in the
now,
hips.
It's
everything is science. I bet the analytics in like
break down
UFC and
everything.
just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like your
Absolutely.
rotation of this one like broke your hand or
Right?
Yeah.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, everything is.
and it's hips. And I'll tell you what I have found more and
You got
more
to play. You got
talking
to learn to play the
folks is-
percentages on
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And it's more just the focus on balance. It doesn't matter what sport you're playing. It's the same. You've got the same core issues. Golf, matter if it's golf and all that, it's just maybe hand position or something like that. But it's still the power comes. It always comes from the same place. Golf swings,
Glutes.
any of that. It comes from it's that torque that's created. But the rotational what you call acceleration.
rotational acceleration.
What exactly is that? So we know bat speed, but you can have tremendous bat speed and suck.
Right.
Right. I mean, Happy Gilmore, he had a tremendous club speed,
Right.
but there's a movie too. But instead, but look at John Daly. He had tremendous glove head speed, and he
Right.
That dude's
watch
living
that.
the life.
He
man.
is living the life though. He just got to show up. He's so cool when he makes money just off selling.
I
merch.
saw a video of him the other day on Instagram. He was barefoot, had a big old cigar hanging out of his mouth, and then he, I think he teed it up on a beer can, and then hit it, and it went in, and he just like, and I was just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
yeah, that dude's like
He's still-
Pete.
surrounded
is he still
by
like
women.
He's still guarding out.
like,
What? So
Oh
what?
my God.
So for those baseball guys, what's rotational velocity of a bat?
So
10.
what's mine?
No. What is it? What is that?
No.
Where does that cut? Is that the
11.
rope? Is that from when your hands get here?
It's when I believe it's when it gets into the zone specifically when it gets quote unquote parallel with the ground or into what they call the hitting zone.
Right. And your bat stays there. It gets there quicker.
It gets
and
there
stays
quick
longer.
and stays there.
Stays
longer.
there. That's
Exactly
called a
right.
bunt.
That's exactly
My
right.
favorite.
Doesn't have to get there quick though.
So, and you were in the top 10% of Major League of the organization.
Right. And the other one was at Arkansas. The year that it was my best year at Arkansas, my sophomore year, there's a metric called standard deviation of launch angle. And this one,
I've heard of standard deviation, but it stopped after that.
The bell curve.
Right.
Yeah,
It's so
65%,
Right.
67%, 95%.
I'm gonna backtrack a second.
I was,
I know from invest-
I
I
was
know from
told
investments.
this because my math teacher in high school was like, "Here's the standard, Chase. You're deviating this way. Here's where everybody else is.
And you find
Miss
out
You
Moore
are the
was so-
standard deviator."
and as you're
Man.
walking out of class, you're like, now I get it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Maybe if I bunt, I'm
So
like,
they measure. So do they like print out these reports and they're in an inbox for you, and you have to review those, or what happens?
not exactly. Some of them you can see instant feedback from the swing. So with the Phillies, what you can do is
a slow mo cam type thing.
Kind of. There's another one for that. That's kind of a different thing. But
Okay.
They have an iPad set up on a tripod, kind of like set up behind the cage.
Right.
And each swing, say we're targeting bat speed that day. They can put the sensor on the bat, and your goal is just to swing the bat as hard as you can to train that speed. And you swing, you look, see
Tell
how
you
hard.
exactly how hard
you
you're
go.
going.
You look, 64 miles an hour. Cool. All right, let's see what this one is. And so,
Not hitting
so
anything, just swinging.
Sometimes not hitting anything. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they throw a ball, but they don't care if you hit it or not. They just want to see how hard you can make the bat, how quickly you can make the bat move.
Right.
Which is and another thing, training that speed. But
So your standard deviation. So the standard deviation.
yeah,
of,
that's where rabbit hole. So standard deviation of launch angles, basically the average spread on ball flight. I know a lot of people talk about launch angle, and this was kind of brushing on what we were talking about not too long ago.
Like Mike Trout's launch angle is this, but softball you have to be here.
So that's what I was saying. A lot of people get these two confused, right? So a lot of people, and Jeffrey went on a tangent. Jeffrey went on a tangent on Facebook earlier today about
Jeffrey Orr.
Yeah. About the swinging down, swinging flat.
It wasn't
kind of-
Fro.
Which tangent?
the most recent.
Have you
the
seen
most
his
recent one.
Facebook feed?
Depends on what time of the night he's
Fair enough.
posted. No, I'm just kidding, Jeffrey.
Are you?
I remember back when we used to edit podcasts. Hey, babe. You about to go to bed? And
3 hours of sleep really got to me.
no, that's right. She worked on her science project till 3:30 or 4, something like that. She's a hard worker. He's talking about launch angle. He's talking about standard deviation of launch angle. So you probably want to sit down.
Who
It's
you
up
have
your
my
alley.
seat?
Yeah, he almost told you wrong the other day. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We were talking.
No.
No. So, but a lot of people, you hear people, a lot of old school people fussing about, oh, you don't need to be teaching launch angle and so on and so forth. But they have it confused with what's called attack angle, which is the actual path of the bat.
Yeah.
The actual path of the bat's attack angle. Launch angle is the ball coming off of the bat.
You can't. You don't really have any. That's why standard deviation. You really don't have a lot of control. You got depends on where you hit the ball.
Right.
Top of the ball, center of the
So,
ball. Yeah.
a more concise standard deviation of launch angle shows more consistent flush contact.
Yeah.
And that year, this was the 2019 year, the number one standard deviation of launch angle in the country was Trevor Ezell, our leadoff hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also an undrafted free agent in the COVID year.
Undrafted.
Yep.
Well,
He that's another one that's just a head scratcher. Just career 330 hitter.
yeah, I thought
5
I
years.
thought he was going top 3 or 4 rounds.
He's incredible, and also one of the greatest people I know. To shout out to, if he ever listens to this, or anyone that
He
knows who
won't.
he is.
Yeah.
Trevor
If you
Ezell.
share it with him, he will.
Trevor Ezell gonna be in my wedding. Great,
Cool.
unbelievable guy.
Yeah.
Also,
Do we have breaking news?
no,
You heard it here first, folks.
We went from 3 to 4. Your girlfriend just jumped on.
wow,
So
perfect timing.
So the standard deviation, his was
His was the
low
tightest.
standard deviation. That makes sense now.
Mine was second,
Yeah,
and
in the country.
in the country, in all of
In all
NCAA
of
baseball.
Man, this country's gone to heck.
So before I know, so I know, and we'll wrap it up. But I know we're getting a lot the sign.
Yeah, we're really getting in the weeds, but
when you got it took you getting into those. If you wouldn't have walked through all
In the
those-
weeds, boy, y'all in them trees, I took a dump in.
but if you think about it again, there's all these steps that had to occur.
right.
Columbia Christian, Magnolia, go to Sticks, then you get the chance at San Jack, you go down there, come back, and before you know it, U of A, you start getting these metrics.
Right.
The Blast comes along, about 9-10 years ago, something like that. But they keep giving it.
Right.
It's more and more. I mean, we have one, didn't know any about what that meant. It was way too scientific. It looked like I was looking at an investment profile. But now you know, because do you ever ask yourself, why me?
All the time.
Right.
To
but
this day.
those little things says, oh, that's why me.
Right.
Like they saw something that you didn't, even just in the metrics.
Right.
That you didn't know about yourself. And that's what I'm saying for kids who think that I just don't have what it takes. I can't knock it over the fence. I can't do this. You don't have any idea what you may have one thing that is special. It can be developed and
on that note, I hit like 5 home runs in my life up until my senior year of high school.
I know because you didn't hit very many home runs.
And I only hit 7 my senior year, which
Did you say anything when you did hit it? Because I like them tennis players that go, I mean, like when you felt a good solid hit, and did you say anything
see-
like?
No, but I do describe it to people like I have a little. There's been times where I've really gotten a hold of something.
You know
like
when
later in
and
my
you
career
know.
especially.
Well,
You
you've seen
know.
that video of the tortoises mating? It's
What?
So I like.
that video of the velociraptor.
I was like notorious for like hitting and going yeet yeet. Yeet yeet skirt. No,
Had colleges all over. But anyway, that's where. So, how many home runs you hit your freshman year? Your first year at U of A.
My first year at U of A, I hit 5. The COVID year, I hit 3. And then this past spring, I hit 13.
Yeah. And that's SEC baseball. Could you tell the difference in SEC players at camp?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I found. So that's the thing. So you get to play, and it's not a little, choosing colleges, man. If you can get in the SEC, I mean, them dudes straight up like major league. So, anyway, yeah, sir, it's the difference. Man, anyway, well, hey, let me tell me about your shirt real quick. What I see that on your Twitter feed, and what it's stop running. I thought this was a political statement because obviously in 2020,
I thought you were mad at the Chicago Bears for hiring Ryan Poles. I was like, man, he's just general.
I thought it had to do with the last election. Stop running polls. They suck.
And intentionally misspelled it.
If I see one more Trafalgar.
LES.
So what?
That's how
what's-
Trump spells it.
So,
So what does it mean?
So, okay. For the longest, a lot of the old school
Make it
coaching.
quick. I got pee.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
The old school coaching, you got guys running poles. The thing was to run your baseball players for distance for a number for whatever reason that may be. Right. Well, as time has progressed and more and more science has come out,
Stay right there.
more and more data and science has come out. We've kind of developed this notion that it's probably not nearly as helpful as we thought it was.
so distance running doesn't have the impact that say what maybe like
Sprinting
just
for sure. So
because you're high interval, like high
Right. So-
intensity.
there's a number of ways you can come at this. There's an archaic view of pitchers. They would throw and they would develop soreness because of lactic acid buildup.
Yeah.
That's the traditional thinking to it. Well, we have studies going back as early as 2004 showing that that's not really the case, and that lactic acid is actually cleared really, really quickly. In one study in particular, after a 7-inning simulated game that a pitcher threw, the lactic acid was cleared within minutes.
Whoa.
So that's not what the soreness is actually from is just simple muscle breakdown, like that of lifting weights.
Of a workout.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's the same idea.
Okay.
So that being said, that kind of debunks the whole lactic acid thing. So there's that aspect of it. And then you can come from the aspect of it just doesn't really carry over into what you do in baseball very well. How often do you just run for, a very short, 50% effort for, I don't know, however long you want to run distance for, right? And then you can go even further and think about baseball. It is, it's a high amplitude movement. It is a movement.
If you're running, you're getting somewhere as fast
Yeah.
as you can in a short amount of time.
If you're throwing a baseball, it's max effort most of the time.
Like if you're going from
swinging a
third,
bat,
if you're going from third to first, trying to get somebody out, it's gonna be a laser.
Third.
right, exactly.
Oh,
Right?
you're talking about throwing.
If you're
No, I mean running.
if you get a base
running.
hit,
Yeah, running.
if you get a base hit and you run and slide into first like me,
Bro.
Running from third to first.
like what we do.
Yeah.
Like I know, I got to run practice last Sunday because the coach had the coaches meeting. We didn't do it. They usually run to the fence and they do stuff. And me, I like to time home to first. I like to time the home to first and the home, and start tracking that metric because that's what the scouts are looking for. That's what college scouts are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see that. They want to see that thing under 3.
Right.
I mean, you're flying, but I mean, softball, 60 feet, or 2.8 if you're a lefty. But that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Correct? I mean, you need to learn sprint. You need to learn short burst sprints.
Short burst sprint, speed, explosiveness.
Yep.
Explosiveness is the best way.
And technique of rounding the bases.
so you heard
all
it
here,
here.
Get the box jumps
Technique
in.
with all over it.
You-
throwing, hitting.
You heard
running.
it here. Stop running poles. I was already
Stop
a step
running.
ahead of you
Yep.
because I say stop running.
Right.
Period.
That's right.
I haven't been on.
So where can we get merch?
give me your merch.
Yeah, I think we'll put STF on that. Stop running poles.
With that being said, though, shout out to who actually got me the shirt. His name's Dr. Josh Heenan. He is a sports performance coach, advanced
okay.
therapy and performance.
Nice.
It's a sports-specific baseball training facility.
Okay. Road trip sounds like.
Yeah, he's
Top golf, batting cages.
He's good. He's a great dude. But
That's
he
so
hooked
that's
me up with the
his.
shirt.
He preaches that. I mean, that's right. Short bursts of energy. That's what
Right.
really
And-
can. And proper technique.
Yeah, no, I could talk about it for a long time, obviously.
And we
but-
talked about who you know. Sometimes that can
So,
help.
I mean,
So,
hell,
right,
there's
right.
fortuitous,
So when you get to where you're going, and I'm sure that from what it sounds like is going to be a pretty good ways. Just
Let me hold $100.
like like if the Phillies wanted to sponsor us or something like that.
Like, do you know the marketing people there? I mean, what's up?
I know you want me on
like-
ESPN, but man, I got this agreement with this.
Look.
STF,
Look, you want to watch ESPN top 10? No, let them idiots down in
They'll-
South Arkansas tell you. About
they'll
it.
they'll simulcast me through there through Alan's makeshift podcast room.
That's right.
I'll be all over it. Dun, 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 dun. I'll probably get flagged for that.
Probably.
Man, yeah. But that's some good knowledge, man. So and I'm glad I want to get one of them. Just I'm gonna cut off the bottom and just make me a little belly shirt just to stop running.
Like Zeke.
Stop running.
But it means hey buddy, stop running.
Take some time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we need to thank sponsors. You got anything else you want any part in knowledge you want to drop on?
Oh, it would have to be more specific. Someone would have to ask me.
Well,
so.
we man, can't thank you enough for being here. We're always
Oh,
like to
yeah.
have
Appreciate
guests.
it, man.
Oh, and
So,
for some
thank
reason,
you guys.
baseball podcasts always wind up doing
Things,
good as it goes along. Yeah.
things we've learned from Matt today.
Tell that by our 3 viewers.
Don't
Well, we've been talking for 4 hours.
don't give up. Oh, dedicate yourself if you really have a passion for it, and
Yep.
stay to La Quinta.
That's it.
Yeah.
You bet.
Absolutely.
But I
La
got out
Quinta
of it-
shout out, sponsor, baby.
What'd you get out of it?
Me?
Yeah.
That's an on the spot question.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
what I got up, but being you talked about this some the other day. Really, like for Anderson and even for Tag, there's somebody. There's you may have something special and you don't even know what it is. Like look at Steph Curry had to go to Davidson. Look at him now.
No.
Right.
Ask me what I got out of it.
That's
by
what.
the way.
But he kept developing this thing, and now he's got his catch and shoot 0.7 seconds. You know, and that's something they practice. The only person that can come close to him is now by his side again, and the Splash Brothers are back. So he's like 0.8, 0.9. Anyway, the two fastest catch and shoots in the NBA.
Trash.
So, but that's something they practice. And, you know, if he wasn't going to be able to go against the bigger guys, then he was going to learn how to shoot threes from half court.
But
I
how,
mean,
how does that translate to real life, though?
I'll tell you.
If somebody breaks into his house, he can't shoot a basketball in 0.8 seconds. He can hit a baseball bat at like 80 miles an hour swinging and kill somebody. I mean, that's
True
what-
that. True
That's real life application. That's why I
but
respect
when you're
this
in the
club.
NBA, but he just looks a little. Steph Curry's taller than us.
Barely.
Which tall people, I kick the butt all the time. So that doesn't
right.
matter either.
Real life
But,
application. You know what I got out of this podcast?
What?
A friend.
That's right.
You're gonna do that.
You see
You're
that?
gonna do that.
Man.
Jordan
Make my
didn't.
face turn red.
No, like no, for real though.
George still ain't know. What's his last name?
I did what? What I got?
What's his last name?
Chase, what's his last name? Tell us.
What's his?
It's like Goodfellas or something.
Yeah. No, really.
We learned
What I
he
got
does-
out
he-
of it.
He has a good heart.
His last name's Goodheart. I knew that. No, really, like
You know what's getting
pouring
hard?
yourself,
He just yawned.
pouring yourself into a craft is what I got. I'm like, you know, you guys went with me for my major league tryout to St. Louis, you know, and staying sharp and working out and being in the game, and so
Knowing your stuff.
knowing your stuff.
I still think you're going to do that. Like you're going to make the Marshalls. I mean, you're going to
Yeah.
you're going to make that because you're.
I don't know.
Whether you believe in you're going to do it. You're
you
going
know,
to do it.
you
gotta
can
believe you're
speak
gonna
out
do
in
it.
faith, but you know, the government might have different
That-
opinions.
that's
But
true.
I'm saying, but
But
I
it opens.
understand.
But it opens. Now you know how. You know the process.
Yeah.
All those guys are nervous that, or the ones that are too afraid that would have made it.
Yeah,
That'll never make that drive to St. Louis.
right.
You know. And what they did was me and Chase prepping. They probably wanted. You'll get a call. You'll get that call.
I hope I do.
But that's right. Pouring yourself into a craft.
Yeah.
And shooting. I mean,
And
you're
be
you're an
ready.
excellent. People don't know. I mean, you're a freaking great with a
I'm
handgun.
I'm the best. Like no, I'm
One of
and
the
I don't
best
say
in the
I don't
camp.
say that just like
No,
every
you
place
actually
I
go to
went.
contests.
No, yeah, I'm the best. And so I don't do many things well at all, like at all. But that's one of the things that I'm the best at that.
And handling a crime baby. Those two things.
I would tend to disagree with that. That's why I'm here now, and I'm happy to be here.
He is one of the best in the county with a. I mean, he's got which you could probably take that to other contests and probably become a known commodity.
Yeah.
Because you have that kind of skill set.
And I thought about trying out for Glock, like Team Glock, and like I'm ashamed to say this on here, but I've even looked into like Olympic tryouts and stuff.
Why would you be ashamed?
It's a pretty big dream. I
So
know.
it's playing
No, I know.
He poured. That's what I got out of the podcast.
No, yeah.
You even said you got that out of the podcast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I did.
Would you, if you were him, would you try out for the? Would you think about the Olympics up here? What I got to do to take those steps to get up here?
I have a quote that I think will answer it perfectly. So everyone's heard the quote, "The sky's the limit."
Yeah.
I like a different one. If the sky's the limit, then why are there footprints on the moon?
Truth.
Boom.
All the truth.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came up with that.
You now
we'll talk about that later.
Just kidding. No. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. And the my shooting for the moon was, the Marshal Service.
Yeah.
The jury's still out on that. I hope it works out. But the shooting one is, obtainable too. And I need to pour myself into that, I think.
And just think what doors that would open up.
Oh,
Because
sure.
I can tell you, going to tryouts, if people don't know if they can make it with something, we like Aniston she's getting invited a lot now to college. I get emails all the time because she's with Sticks organization or she's with some organization where they're all watching these travel ball players.
Yeah.
And all she's got to do is start going. She got one from LSU the other day. Just because they're looking at 7th graders, 8th graders, just come down and play for a weekend. We'll put you up and see what you got. Because you may be that one.
Yeah.
And the thing is, but the people say like, oh, I'm not good enough. I just make a fool out of myself. Well, you absolutely will. Because I think of Henry Ford. One of my favorite quotes I tell the kids because can't is like a cuss word here. Because Henry Ford said, whether you can or you can't, either way you're right.
Right. Yeah.
And
I love that quote.
yeah. So if you can't, your mind tells you, yeah, that's probably right. I can't. And you never will be able to.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
yeah, you can do it. You need to try for an Olympic.
Yeah, I should.
Not
Man.
try for an Olympic. You need to take these steps and like, okay, I won that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you make a name for yourself. Then you go to these shooting matches. Then suddenly U.S. Marshals, it might be like, is that dude the one that,
Yeah. So in my realm,
You just never know.
there's this huge competition every year, like in my bubble. It's put on by the NRA, and there's this dude from the Border Patrol that wins it every year, and I know I can beat this dude.
and you know his name?
Vasquez, I think is his last name.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
You do concealed carry classes?
Do I?
Yeah.
No.
Just
Yeah.
I could hook you up with somebody though, because I know who
Spitball.
does.
considering it. Because I'm Florida, they have regulations. Arkansas is open carry.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy world out there.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
have,
I can-
I don't have to sell anyone on that. So
Oh, for real? I can hook you up.
Yeah.
For
may have
sure.
to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, I've enjoyed talking to you.
Oh
buddy.
yeah, for sure.
I know we're not going to see you for a while.
Right.
Homie's going to be playing in Australia, maybe. Down under.
It's
All right.
possible. It's a
Because
possibility.
apparently I just found this out. It's summer down there when it's winter up here. I didn't know that.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
South of the
Can we
equator.
make the trip?
Speak of I told
Always
him
wanted to go to
uh,
Australia.
Australia.
I did. I want to visit one of them COVID camps. I want to visit the COVID camp museum.
Man.
I was seriously talking about if they lift all those restrictions, Australia is like top of the list of where I want to just go.
Yeah.
Australia used to be the place.
You tell me
like-
when you play it.
Australia used to be the place, like I've said, fit all falls apart here. That's
Australia, man.
But now,
But dude, when the number one most wanted guy in the country it was because he escaped a COVID camp. I was like,
Man.
yeah, I'm gonna wait a few months.
I'm gonna hold off for that.
But and anyway, shoot, man. But that'd be kind of cool to do that. And speaking of road trips, I just got notification that I won some deal with Ameriprise for last year, and thank you to Ameriprise sponsor. No, just kidding. Anyway, Leslie can't go because they always pay for one person, and then it's a discounted price for another. So if y'all want to go to maybe San Diego, because last time is where we got to go. They put up it's a nice hotel. Then they put. I know last time I got to go visit the Top Gun hangar, and that's where.
Bro.
But that's where we had that
Jordan be
party.
all
And
over that,
that's where they had
bro.
that special guest come out. We have a special band, a local band for you tonight, and it was
Switchfoot?
No, it was Smash Mouth.
That'd be cool.
Who is that?
Yeah.
He's really like, who is that?
I know who Smash Mouth is.
Yeah. You ever watch You at least know one song. I remember saying something stupid to another advisor. Of course, he was probably a better advisor than me, but he was like, I said, God, I wonder if I ever get just tired of playing that song. He's like, do you know how much money every time they play that song? He's like, they never get tired of that song.
Yeah.
But
In 3 minutes, we
and
just
I
made
didn't know
$50
that
million.
there's like 2 or 3 other verses to it, which well probably written, but it was really good. Anyway, that's a pretty cool party.
Yeah.
Then Donna Summer was waiting at the hotel, and then she put on a little impromptu concert, which I could care less. Disco Queen, I don't know. But I'm hanging out. But San Diego was freaking awesome. So if y'all want to go,
When is this?
this is
Tomorrow.
May.
Oh, bro.
It's
Pack my bags right now.
May 12th to the 18th or something like that. I'll let y'all know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just got the stuff. I got to confirm all that. Anyway, road trip.
California.
Are we driving? We driving or flying?
Oh no, we're flying as long as you don't have to have any kind of COVID passport.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't doing. I ain't getting that. We'll be driving.
Okay. Yeah.
I've driven to Minnesota before because
Minnesota?
I didn't want to fly there was something going on with.
You made fun of us when
flying.
we drove to Chicago.
Made fun of you.
Yeah.
I've driven to Chicago. I've driven to Chicago. Took a nap and drove straight back.
The most boring drive on earth.
Why'd you go to Chicago?
Haley had the.
Oh yeah. That's right.
I just wanted to go see that Big Bean thing and come back.
That's right. But that's
It's
the
still
fact that
chrome.
we didn't even get to. When I went to Chicago, they call it Chicago. We went to some little old town about the size of Magnolia. Then I had to help him pack his apartment, and then we turned around and drove back.
Oh, this is
Bro.
Chicago. Sorry. You got to make a stop.
You're talking like you're from Minnesota.
You're right.
I remember trying to buy some
That's
cigarettes.
where you are, buddy.
I was trying to buy some cigarettes at this truck stop in Minnesota, and the lady literally said, "I don't know what you're saying, don't you know? I don't know what you're saying." And this trucker said, "He wants some cigarettes." I was like, "What?" He said, I just looked down. He said, "Texas." you know how they know.
I
Because
got
you always
you,
ask, "Are
boy."
you from Texas?"
Man wants the Marlboro Longs.
One, the only time I've not was when I said, "Where you think I'm from?" They always say Texas. I asked one person one time, "Where you think I'm from?" He said, "Tel Aviv." It's all your whatever your
No,
reality is.
this Uber driver in Vegas. It was so. This wasn't with y'all, but he was so 100% sure. He said, "Man, that accent." And I went, "Where you think I'm from?" He said, "Alabama." Easy. I said, "Dang, dude, that's 2 states over."
Man.
I got more teeth in my mouth than that state.
I said, that kind of hurt.
I hate it when they say South Carolina, like because that's every accent they do on TV. Like we do the Queen's English. Nobody talks that kind of English.
Yeah.
But they'll go. It's like
You still call yourself.
It's like he talks like Tipsy High Cotton.
Tipsy High Cotton.
I'm like, we talk more like Matthew McConaughey. It's just that's East Texas.
All right.
Sometimes you got to lay back and talk like that.
Yeah.
But
Rolling your booger.
Sarah roll. you nailed it that one time.
Yeah, that was
Sarah,
good.
What'd you say about that cat?
I was thinking like people that make fun. Oh, your accents are just so whatever. I'm like, you still call yourself a Commonwealth? Get out of here with that.
No doubt. Friggin' ain't even part of America.
right.
All right.
What's next?
Let me. Sponsors. Then we're gonna get out.
All right, you got a video? And
Fortnite ain't gonna play itself. Just kidding. Yeah, I have a video for you three still on. Thank you.
Thank you.
It reminds me of the election live stream. This is our second longest podcast.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I watched the end of that the other day because I thought I'd lost it, and I found it was where me and you were still there, and we started clicking back and forth. And when we saw, it was after the news of the bathroom flooding or whatever, and we saw the thing change. And Emily commented and said, "Why did the votes just change in Georgia?" And we're like, "No, it didn't." Then we started rewinding and looking back and forth. History,
did.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did. We need to make a video on that.
I felt like the Young
'Cause I always
Turks
have-
when Trump won the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Man, if y'all don't play that video.
Anyway,
I gotta
no, you don't.
Oh.
If you go out before these sponsors,
I'm
Seth the
absolutely
other's
not.
gonna-
Seth, I would never.
Seth been in bed 2 hours ago.
Speak of the devil.
I wonder what Seth.
If you don't play that video,
I wonder if Seth. I wonder what he thinks about when he drinks. Oh, when he sleeps. You know, that dude's sawing logs. That dude, freaking 24/7. You saw logs for a living.
Man.
Then you. Yeah.
Hey, you want your home and your business to stand out? The only way to do that is with a custom name log from our buddy Seth Miller. Miller Custom Name Log, baby! And chainsaw carvings. Seth can take a chainsaw, make some of the most amazing things from sculptures, benches, mantles. You got to check it all out right there at MillerLogs.com. Check out his Facebook page. Go like that right now. Miller Custom Name Logs. And chainsaw carvings.
You timed it just right. I want to see what you do over the music for Smallwood.
Okay. Small. You talking about Cottonwood?
Cottonwood, I mean.
You talk-
Smallwood, that's the majority. So,
Hold on. Decorating your home isn't always easy.
that's why.
Who's that at the door? It's Cottonwood Farm Design Company. We recommend their amazing looks from Cottonwood Farm Design Company. They have exactly what you're looking for. What is that? Oh my gosh, right behind that door. It's a cabinet and a table from Cottonwood Farm Design.
They have signs and all sorts of decorations that give your home the warm, rustic charm look
That would look great in any horror film. Have an idea, they can bring it to life.
I can't talk that for long. Or you can have one of their sign parties. Cottonwood Farm Design Co. at gmail.com. Oh, let's move to Billy Bland. Oh, you know you love the outdoors. Come on with it. And you love fishing, and you love that fish tank that's in your house. It probably ain't even got no water in it. But you want to keep it stocked, you got to use our friends at Billy Bland Fishery. They have all the best sport fish, from catfish, koi, bass, crappie, tropical fish, as well as goldfish, minnows, and much, much more. Let's see. Yeah, you got a tank in your classroom, your office, your home. You got to check out Billy Bland. They have such a variety, and they'll ship it right to you. BillyBlandFishery.com. 870-694-4811. They're on Facebook. Go ahead and go like them as well. That's the same video. Okay, Pretty Pretzels. I don't have anything written up here, but this is Emily's little business here. Pretty Pretzels, where she's got
Who
a lot
made
of
that video? Who made that video?
cake decorations, delicious treats for you or someone special that you want to give a gift to. Pretty Pretzels and much more. Chocolate gift goodies. Who wouldn't want it?
I think we're outie.
Is that it? You didn't just play Brent? You was in trouble. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Magnolia,
Did they write that check?
Don't matter.
No, just
They're
kidding.
friends. Then Britton Courtney McHenry can certainly help you with your home needs. If
Matt's totally engaged.
or if you're
he doesn't even know he's live.
or if you're looking to rent, some of these college kids around here looking for a place to rent, Brent Courtney can certainly help.
Word.
They're over at Ray and Associates, 870-234-1644. And you totally left out Regional Hospice.
They the check. Oh yeah, the check cleared. So,
Okay, yeah.
Well,
the
they
check
don't
cleared.
really exist anymore.
Okay, so
They
we're
have
gonna
a new name.
We're
Do you know
gonna
their
have
new name?
No, I don't.
We have there's a the hospice that Fro's wife worked for, Miss Amanda.
But check them out. They still got the same number.
No,
Okay, we're gonna redo that one.
Let me give Amanda's cell phone. Hold on. All right, so
But that's all we're sponsoring.
Anyway.
Hey, thanks Matt
Yeah,
for coming
thanks.
out. We appreciate you for being a good sport and
we
letting
look
us
forward to that
poke
Philly
fun and all that.
sponsor, man.
Yeah, Philly, get them Philly.
Or maybe the sod muffins
But,
or whatever that team was.
I think I speak for everybody that's listened to and check this out tonight. That we wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait to have you back and get some more big time.
And we're sorry Jordan's off
Once you-
camera, but when he's done,
He's done.
he's done. He's walked off.
But appreciate you for coming.
should
in
do
and
that
hanging
on
out.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on. It's been an honor.
Hey, thank you very much. You're a good
sir.
dude. Like, you're better than your dad.
Anyway,
He texts back like Jordan does.
do you know the tagline out here? We're small town famous and we're.
He does. He
Okay.
listens to our podcast
Okay,
all
yeah,
the time.
yeah, yeah.
Listen to the old stuff. We actually used to be funny. But
Anyway,
no, but anyway, we are small town famous,
and we're
and we are guests.
just say it. Just, what? Oh,
into the mic.
You say it in the mic. Oh, out. Yeah, we're out, baby.